SportsStar.com, San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA playoffs continued last night with quite a thriller to open the evening. Indiana beat Cleveland 120-119. Tyrese Halliburton with a three with 3 seconds to go to win it. The Golden State Warriors took down the Minnesota Timberwolves 99-88 without Steph Curry in the second half, who's dealing with a hamstring injury. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody. How we doing, San Antonio? Welcome in. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. AJ and Rob on a hump day.
Man, we need a break from playoffs.
What do you mean?
I'm staying up way too late.
Oh,
this is
Bubba.
3 nights in a row of 11:30. And worth it. Don't get me wrong. Well, last night wasn't necessarily worth it,
Yeah,
but
it was not worth it.
I think we all just need like Wednesday night by night.
That's a good idea,
we
actually.
just all take a breath,
Relax,
sit back,
get to bed early.
just to kind of help everybody else out.
No, I'm for that, actually. Or we need to stop having games on the west coast of the United States.
Maybe that's the problem.
No, I was up late last night watching hockey.
Oh, see, I was watching a blowout.
Yeah, it was better than what I was watching, trust me.
Well, I didn't have any emotional stake in the game either.
Oh my God, just this repulsive night. And that's the worst when you stay up late. And it's been something you've been looking forward to all day, and then you do it, and then you go to bed late, tired with regret.
Because you probably crossed your mind to leave like 10 minutes earlier. You're like, I'm in it. I'm hanging with this. And by the time it's done, you say, man, I should have just given it up 30 minutes ago. Now I'm just sad.
The way it worked last night was the Knights got up.
Oh, so they had a lead.
They were up 2-0.
Oh, it could have been worse.
In the history of, the short history of the Golden Knights, when they have a multi-game or multi-goal lead at home in the playoffs, they were 26-0 in those games.
Oh, so they got garped. It was due.
And they gave up. They gave up 1 goal in the first, so it was 2-1 going into the second. They got absolutely dominated the entire second period. They only got 1 shot off the entire second period, but the Oilers didn't score, so it was still 2-1. So it was like the entire time it was like, oh my God, they're going to score, and they never did. And I was like, okay, maybe there's hope.
Maybe.
And then they scored the tying goal like very early into the third period. It was like a minute in. It was 2-2, and I was like, oh boy.
Did Edmonton's best player get hurt at some point in the third period, not come back, and you still lose?
He did not.
Oh.
He did not. But they scored with 3 minutes to go to make it 3-2, and then they scored another goal about 2 minutes later, and I said, well, that's that. And the fans headed to the door, and I didn't blame them.
Well, as a novice hockey fan, I do know this. There is not a single NHL fan other than those in the Knights who feel sorry for you guys.
I know that's the case.
You guys have lived a rather blessed yet short life.
Yeah.
So little rain might fall every now and again there in Vegas, kind of like your house.
Edmonton has the best player in the whole wide world on their team.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about him.
Connor McDavid. Yeah. And this Draisaitl is like, he led the league in goal scoring this year. So their front line is just incredible.
But you kind of locked them down for a while. Speaking of weather, dude, Vegas weather yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Like my wife sent me a video of it's a normal day there. It's in the mid 70s, random. Ooh. And then there's like a 20-minute stretch where it starts to dump rain and hail.
And it's a lot of hail.
Oh yeah. Like piled up.
It looked like snow.
Hail. Yeah. And then I'm like, well, what the hell? What's going on? And by the way, this only happened in one part of the valley, the part where I live.
So that other part watched the hail fall across the valley.
What the hell's that going on over there? And it lasted about 20 minutes, and then it went right back to being mid-70s sunny, and was that way for the rest of the day.
Any damage?
No.
No, not. It was just dime size. It looked like ridiculous. It looked like.
I mean, it was coming down crazy. So I don't know what's going on in the world. There's hail falling in May in Las Vegas. The Knights are losing at home with a 2-goal lead. I mean,
and has a road.
It's
team,
a horrible time in Vegas, right?
And road wins matter in the NBA because that's all you get.
0-5 are the home teams.
Absolutely
in the NBA. Conference
so we talked about
semifinals.
So this is huge for Vegas, right?
Yeah.
When the roadie wins, Vegas banks.
Yeah. Now when we say Vegas, we mean the
house.
Books, the bad guys. The bad guys make money because, I mean, the easiest example of this was Monday night. Because a lot of people will say, okay, and you're kind of this way. You say, whew. Laying 9.5 points feels like a lot. I don't know if I want to do that. I know they're going to win, though.
Right.
So they'll take the Celtics and the Thunder, and they'll say, okay, well, instead of laying it on both of them, I'll parlay the money line, and then I got to risk 200, and I'll make 130 back.
Right.
That's not bad. It's not, because otherwise you're going to lay 400 or 500 and get 100 back. Nobody wants to do that. So they're thinking, I can lay a little bit and get some back at least. And then all it takes is one of them lose, much less both of them.
Right.
And also now all those parlays. And the average bettor wants to bet favorites and overs.
That's how
Yeah, if you're
I'm a fan, so I want them to do well.
Yeah. That's what they call the squares. The squares come in and they bet favorites and they bet overs.
I thought I was the mark.
Yeah, well, same thing.
The sucker.
The same thing.
That's me? Okay.
Yeah, same thing.
I appreciate, what's the best word before? What was it?
Square.
I appreciate square better than sucker.
Yeah.
All right.
But
I'll take that.
That is the anytime the underdogs win, especially underdogs win in a low-scoring game, usually it's pretty good news for Vegas. And they continue to rake in these NBA playoffs because favorites can't win. Home teams can't win. Favorites can't win. It's wild. Last night I finally was on one. I was finally on an underdog in the Warriors just because I was like 6.5 points doesn't make sense to me in this series.
Right.
Like, these two teams are equal. The other three series I feel like
I didn't think they were equal. Now I do.
Well, had I known that Steph Curry was going to play like 5 minutes, I probably wouldn't have even made this bet.
I remember that time I thought Anthony Edwards was about to bust out. Yeah, that went well. Yeah. I think he didn't make a shot for the first hour and a half he was in the building.
He didn't have the best day. Although, I mean, when you look at him at the end of the day, you go, 23
he went out,
points.
No, I'll give him some credit in the third quarter, but that first half, dude, you just set an alarm.
Too little, too late, buddy.
You woke up late. He was like 0 for 11 in the first half, and they were ugly shots, dumb 3-point fadeaway shots. So no, they're even. AJ, yeah, this is pretty even Steven, and even without Steph, they embarrassed Minnesota last night. Minnesota looked confused.
Well, there was another key thing that happened was when Naz Reid had to leave the game.
Well, early on that did affect, but yeah, I mean it's that Golden State savvy. But all in all, then that wasn't even the most important 3 seconds of the night.
What was the most?
And we're going to talk a lot about it, I'm sure. And did you know this is a little factoid that you can kind of stew on for the rest of the day?
Great, I love stewing.
We, the San Antonio Spurs, and this is I'm not slighting Devin Vassell.
Okay.
But we drafted Devin Vassell, and right after that, the Pacers drafted Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh, no.
Right next door. It could have, they just dialed
was that
2020? Yeah.
Well, that's a bit of a...
I mean, we wouldn't be where we are today.
It's a bit of a misevaluation.
It was, and evidently Tyrese has been misevaluated more than once.
Uh-huh.
But that was a brilliant once-in-a-lifetime. That was the iciest, coldest final shot I've ever seen.
Yeah.
To grab a rebound off of a missed free throw and dribble through the defense. Hezzy, step sideways and hit a fadeaway three in their eye with 3 seconds to go on
Pretty
the
wild.
road.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't get any more icy than that.
That was a cold moment, man.
Onions.
Cavs should be embarrassed by this. We'll talk about that today as well. They're in trouble.
Oh, they're in desperate, desperate trouble.
And
Evan Mobley's the MVP.
Yeah.
You want to prove your value?
Yeah. Without 3 of their key guys, but still, I'm not going to feel bad for you if you've got a double-digit lead at any point in the game and lose. Like, that's on you, man.
Yes, it's all.
You've been miscoached at that point. Your players mishandled the situation. Like, everything has to go. And to lose these leads with, 7 seconds left, we've got to get past this. I mean,
they
need to go out and just hit these coaches in the nuts with a hammer. Seriously. Every time they do that.
It's malpractice.
It really does take a perfect storm of effery. I don't even know how to use it.
I was at a coaching clinic one time with a guy named he was the
Red Auerbach.
No, it was Team USA's primary high school basketball coach.
Okay.
His name was Dick Sjogren. It doesn't matter. But we were going through 2-minute defense, the last 2-minute defense. And he said, if you lose a game, if you're up by 10 points with 2 minutes to go, and you have at least one timeout, and you lose, it's your fault, coach.
Oh, my God,
It is
yes.
your fault, coach. It is not your kid's fault. It, at that point, becomes, with 2 minutes to go, the game becomes the coach's.
Yeah.
It's now your game, and your players are now chess pieces. Prior to that, you're playing magnetic football, and the court's vibrating, and you hope the players go in the right direction. But for the last 2 minutes, because you have control of the clock, and you control fouls and that, you lose a game, 10-2, it's your fault.
Yeah.
And think about losing it under a minute with 10. How about under 90 seconds at 7?
You can't. You can't let that happen.
Man, it leaves a mark.
And I'll tell you what's even crazier about we'll talk about this game in detail coming up. We also have to got a rough update on our friend Kitty Big Balls.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Some sad news in the world of the Morning Huddle. We'll talk about that as well. It is Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, still the big trouble spot area is going to be on 35 on the northeast side of town. We've got some road work, got a closure on 35 northbound. Tougher wind up to Pat Booker Road, and it's causing about a 10-12 minute delay as you slow from Weidner. Judson Road still a good alternate route if you need that. And then through Selma, southbound 35, Olympia Parkway to 1604, road work right lane. That has you stop and go from FM 1518, so tack on at least an extra 7-8 minutes to your commute. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Let's Rodeo San Antonio Brahmas style. The herd you love returns to the Alamo Dome for their Let's Rodeo theme game. Join us Friday, May 9th at 7 p.m. when your San Antonio Brahmas battle the DC Defenders. Dust off your boots and grab your cowboy hat to celebrate with rodeo-inspired fun for the whole family. Enjoy a pregame happy hour in the HEB Plaza with $3 frozen margaritas and beer. Get your tickets today at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com for tickets. Our town, our team, our herd.
John, what do you think about these tariffs? What do you think is going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The prices on used cars have suddenly come up because the cost has gone up. And at GiveMeTheVin.com, we're paying more. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com, put in your license plate, and see for yourself. We're paying more today than we were yesterday. Remember, the tariffs have raised the car prices, and we are paying extra. GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer. Sell us your car.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
When you partner with CDW, your people get more out of technology. CDW data experts are simplifying complex workloads with high-speed AMD processors, which helps your project managers efficiently manage heavier workflows. Game designers level up creativity, and scientists develop their next breakthrough. Amazing, right? Make amazing happen. AMD and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/AMD.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone! Come back! It's my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life! Come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
How did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is a listening learner. So he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to be
Precio.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here with my good friends from Prize Picks. I'm just one of millions of members of Prize Picks that play daily fantasy sports every day, and things just keep getting better. How about 2,000x on your cash today? That's right, cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your best chance to add your favorite players from the court on Prize Picks lineup. And whether it's points, rebounds, assists, and whatever else, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 2,000x your cash today. Turn up your playoff hot takes into tickets on basketball and championship winnings every day. And there's stuff going on all week. Every Tuesday, Prize Picks will discount several projections on the board. They take up to 15 to 25% off savings and fun. And then there's Big Flex Friday. Those picks that don't win, you get your net losses back in promo funds up to your limit as soon as the lineup settles. Hey, there's money back. That's why I love Prize Picks. 2,000 times your money and some free ones. Download Prize Picks. Use the code ALAMO for 50 free bucks. That's Prize Picks. Go run your game.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we're going to react to the 2 playoff games from last night.
Plus, we expect to hear from Coach Wade Phillips in our Brahmas Roundup at 4:35.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
The Clash.
Morning Huddle 94.1. Our friend Kitty Big Balls. Oh. He showed up today, and things are not looking good for old Kitty Big Balls. He has been attacked by some sort of beast, and I think he's dragging behind one of his legs like it just doesn't work anymore. He's all chewed up, so yeah.
Things don't look good for Kitty.
Things do not look good for his future. I was going to adopt him. I don't know that he's going to make it. So we're making a call today, and we're going to see if they can come.
There might be
help him out, or if not help him out, do right by him.
Yep.
So bummer. Our show mascot. He's had a good run.
His spirit will live on.
He's had a good run. I brought him into the little courtyard here so he can at least be, not afraid, and so he's in there sleeping right now. But Yeah, it sucks, man. It's stupid. If you're Team Coyote, I'm out on you. I don't like Coyotes. I'm against them. All right. Breaking news for Dallas Cowboys.
We finally get breaking news. It is so hard to get breaking news on a morning show.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't.
Let me tell you, man.
Hold on.
Everything happens at
all right.
10:05. There we go. We got the three-note sting for breaking news. All right.
That's right. The Cowboys, it appears, the Cowboys are finalizing a trade for George Pickens, former Steelers wide receiver George Pickens. All the details not yet available.
It's going to cost them.
I would guess. Although, boy, this
probably
is
some future consideration, but it's going to cost them.
Yeah. Now, remember, this is the second time that the Cowboys traded for a wide receiver in 6-7 months?
Yep.
Having traded for Johnny Mingo.
I think they might already be out on Big Johnny Mingo. They got a couple of workouts and said, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's see what we got available.
But, yeah, we don't know exactly what the compensation is. We do know that it is draft capital.
Pickens went last year, had respectable numbers, 59 catches, 900 yards, 3 touchdowns, in an offense that really is not geared to go
It was not
to
geared
anything,
to do anything.
But downfield, and that's what he's good at, going downfield and going up and getting the ball. Has 50 receptions and 800 yards and 3 touchdowns in each of his last 3 years. He'll be available for an extension coming at the end of this year. He was a first-round draft pick, so Cowboys will have the ability to play him and see if he's worth it, and maybe just let him go afterwards. They're not bound to him unless they've already promised a deal.
Now, he is a very talented guy.
He's a perfect Cowboy wide receiver because, yeah, talent. There's no doubt about that.
But he is seemingly a bit of a head case, bit of maybe an over-emotional player.
Prima donna.
He wants the ball, and when he doesn't get the ball, he gets angry. He has gotten a bunch of penalties for, randomly taking his helmet off in the middle of, what are we doing? He does have real talent. He's just
This is the kind of guy you have to deal with when you're trading and dealing in the free agent market. There's flaws with guys.
Well, especially if you're not, if you don't want to give up the moon.
Right. So this was, you know what? Again, the Cowboys, a high B. It's a pretty good move, it feels like. It could blow up in their face. I don't think it will. This is as talented a twosome as we've had since Cooper was here.
Yeah.
So more power to him. I'm really interested to see what they gave up because this is going to cost him above a 4th rounder. He's more expensive than a Mingo.
Than Johnny Mingo, yeah. But yeah, it's a good player if you're just looking at talent alone. There is a world where he can be a number 1 level wide receiver. I really believe that. He is an absurdly talented dude, but
it was made replaceable by DK Metcalf up there. He's there was, I think, under Tomlin's idea of what he's looking for, and they have an eye for wide receiver. The Steelers continually pick good guys that might not last in Pittsburgh but last around the league, and they also have an attitude. He likes wide receivers with me attitude, and that's just been Pickens' problem. I can see why he's been frustrated the last couple of years. He really hadn't had a quarterback to get him the ball. So here there'll be an offense certainly structured to get the ball downfield, and we know Dak likes a quarterback, a wide receiver that high points, that goes up and gets it, and Gallup, if he'd have stayed healthy, was going to be that guy. We'll see if this guy can do it.
Yeah, hasn't been much of a touchdown maker. A lot of that, I think, is to do with the team that he plays for.
I think he was frustrated.
He has spent the majority of his career either dealing with Kenny Pickett or Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. I mean, it's not been a good cast, and but he's averaged a little under 1,000 yards a year through 3 years. Averaged 4 touchdowns a year.
WR2 numbers.
But he's a big play threat. And
Tennessee. Yeah.
Georgia,
that's right.
Georgia,
I
yeah.
saw him in orange.
And I don't believe he has any vehicular homicide arrests.
Well,
to
there's
his
a
name.
problem then.
He's barely a Georgia Bulldog.
Fast.
Barely a Georgia Bulldog.
You ain't first, you're last.
So we'll see. Maybe the compensation comes down later today, but we'll have more discussion on that for sure. But it is a big addition for the Dallas Cowboys. George Pickens, who, from a talent standpoint, probably more talented than anybody they could have drafted.
I'll tell you what,
they drafted.
The wide receiver room is very quickly becoming the most talented room in the building.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no. I mean, this is a first-round draft pick in Pickens with C.D. Lamb. That's legitimate.
He was a second-round pick.
Well, I mean, it's first-round draft pick quality. Yeah, this is a legitimate wide receiver tandem. It's been a minute for the Cowboys to have had this much talent on the edge. Good for them.
Yeah, you got one happy guy, and now you got a guy who you got to decide.
And still got Jalen Tolbert on the periphery.
Don't tell me about
every
Jalen's.
day and every way, AJ, he's getting better and better.
Don't tell me about Jalen's.
He's almost got the playbook down. He's going to be good.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the good Tolbert. I mean, the good Jalen. Not the bad
crummy, what was his name? McMillan? No, I don't know. Either way, it's certainly an upgrade. It's just a matter of now you got to manage the personality.
Yeah, come on
and
back.
he's getting to the age where it's time to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes it even more interesting when these crazy guys, when it's time to pay them, you got to factor in how crazy they are. I shouldn't say crazy.
No,
it's not like he's Antonio Brown.
It's
how emotional.
He's passionate, AJ.
Right.
He cares. This guy just cares more than others.
Yes.
Wears his emotions on his sleeve. He leads by his actions and words together.
And there was kind of a feel that when they got DK Metcalf, that the Steelers were preparing their body for life without George Pickens.
It feels that way. Yeah.
And they, like, the Steelers had apparently, at least this is the reports were before the draft, the Steelers had already talked to the Cowboys about a George Pickens trade. They couldn't make it work.
That's what Jerry was talking. Remember Jerry talking about, there's plans. We're doing stuff.
Yes. But it was the marriage between he and the Steelers had kind of run its course. And I think the Steelers, who don't really have a WR2 in place, were like, it's okay. We're good without one.
And above and beyond, Brandon Cooks was kind of forced into a tough situation, was never healthy. And then when he was healthy, I mean, he at the end of the day was a slot receiver, forced to do some edge wide receiver stuff. And it never really fit. But it feels very much like when we got Cooks, he was Pickens. He was a good player that just hadn't fit anywhere else that people were happy to have. But there's a reason why Pickens is available. There's a reason why they went and got DK Metcalf. I mean, there is holes in his game, and some of it's mental, but there's some work to be done. This isn't the perfect fit, but it's about the best I think the Cowboys could have done.
He is 1 year removed from leading the league in yards per reception at 18.1 yards per catch.
He's a downfield, go up and get it kind of wide receiver, which we needed that. But the Cowboys haven't had that since Gallup was, before the injury.
So we'll get more into that later on as hopefully we get more details on the trade as the show goes on. All right, we'll be right back. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dr. Jacob Torres in the Institute for Functional Health down there on McCullough Avenue. That's my health hub. That's where I go to see my primary doctor. That's where I go to see Dr. Torres with my health regimen. That's where you should be going to do the very same thing. I met Dr. Torres about 8 years ago, and I couldn't get over his passion, absolute passion for health. And I say that, he's a doctor. It's not like any doctor I'd ever met. He really looked me in the eyes and says, we can make you feel better, and it doesn't have to be a pill that makes you do it. It can be a lifestyle change. It can be an attitude about food. It can be even matter when you eat the food that you like. It'll make you feel better, and you can lose some weight, and you'll be surprised at how well you suddenly start sleeping. And then you'll be surprised at how awake you are when you're awake. And when you think about what I just said, it'll start making sense. Are you awake right now, or are you just functioning? If you're not awake, then you're really not getting stuff done. And then if your brain didn't get any sleep last night because you were snoring so heavy because you're so fat, you didn't get any rest. That's what you're dealing with every day. Believe me, the brain fog is real, and when it lifts, you know it. If you're tired of being tired, if you're sick of being sick, I want you to call Dr. Torres today. He'll put you on a program that you can live with from now on and see all the benefits of weight loss. Look fashionable in skinny clothes. Look, if it's time, call the doctor today. His number's 210-468-1891. How he does it isn't witchcraft. This isn't the easiest thing I ever did. It is the best thing I've ever done, and I want it for you. His website is iffhealth.com. Go there, read what he has to say. Take the functional health test. I think it'll open your eyes. Listen, if it's time to lose weight, there's no better option than the IFF, the Institute for Functional Health, and Dr. Jacob Torres. Call him today. He'll change your life, and when he does, come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your early morning commute, still the big trouble spot area is going to be on 35 on the northeast side of town. We've got some road work, got a closure on 35 northbound, Tupperwine up to Pat Booker Road, and it's causing about a 10-12 minute delay as you slow from Weidner. Judson Road still a good alternate route if you need that. And then through Selma, southbound 35, Olympia Parkway to 1604, road work right lane. That has you stop and go from FM 1518, so tack on at least an extra 7-8 minutes to your commute. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Listen up, San Antonio. At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can get college credit for the stripes you've earned. Turn your military rank into college credit to save time and money on an online degree. Eligible enlisted service members and previously enlisted veterans may receive up to 12 credits for select undergraduate courses based on their rank, and up to 90 credits in total for prior learning, military experience, and training. Classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu/SATX.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Get ready for Camping World's Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th. Get the highest value for your RV guaranteed during the biggest RV trade event of the year. Shop the best RV deals in America with new RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Get ready for the holiday weekend with up to 45% off grills and 25% off product installation. Plus, we'll have free hats, free propane refills, free food, and fun for the whole family. Don't miss the incredible Red, White, and New Trade event, May 15th through the 18th at your local Camping World.
See with the full details and disclaimer.
Progressive knows there are two things RV owners love: to travel and relax. And they like to take both nice and slow. Just like this commercial. And what's more relaxing than the peace of mind knowing their RV is protected by Progressive? Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. Welcome in. Where's my, let's see.
Hump day. Yeah, baby.
Hump day.
You know, when the, what's that, fabulous.
The fantastic Mr. Fox.
Mr. Fox, when it started when we got deer. And so I guess it was like the next day I was walking my dog and we started playing that drop and I started going. So now my dog knows if I go, it's time to go.
Yeah.
But I didn't start doing that until we got the drop. It seems perfect, right?
It's the only, I don't like cartoon movies. I don't know why I love that movie.
Because he's hilarious.
That's a great movie. And I guess, what is it, like stop animation
or claymation?
I don't know. But it's, it makes me laugh, that movie does. Because it would be
It'd be R-rated if the kids know what he was talking about.
Oh, I know. I wish they would have just gone full force with it. But yeah, I like that movie. It's a well-made movie. I also like George Clooney in general. He probably the most handsome man I could think of.
I think he smells of cinnamon spice.
I was once asked by a
not cologne, cinnamon and spice.
And leather.
I was once asked by a girl, gun to head, you've got to make out with one guy in the world. Who would you make out with?
Caitlyn Jenner.
And I said, I don't know if this is the correct response or not, but what I said was modern or historical.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was thinking about
I need a choice here. I need a variety.
George Washington,
like if I'm going down, I might as well go down on
Thomas Jefferson. Those like the old men, the founding fathers who wore wigs, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But then I was like, I said they probably smelled bad. Like they didn't have good hygiene.
They don't take baths.
So I said, I'm
going forward in time, not back.
I went with Prince, Prince. Yeah, if I had to pick one person historically, there's a gun to my head, Rob. Like, you got to pick one guy. What do you do?
He'd be an interesting conversation.
And I said because I would at least need some bit of femininity.
I always kind of felt like Prince was running around up there with goat legs.
Well,
he had hooves because he wore high heels. Looked like he had hooves.
It's possible, but like at least he's small.
Oh,
like,
dude.
Whereas I was like, make no mistake,
we have taken a detour.
I know.
Like not Brad Pitt, not like the pretty boy.
No, Brad Pitt's too manly. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think George Clooney is very handsome, but he's like
too manly.
What's happening?
That's a man.
What's happening here?
I had a gun to my head, Vic.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
What did you want me to do? Just like
pull the trigger.
Oh.
I'm not doing this.
Just end it.
Just end it now.
Oh, you say Abraham Lincoln, do you?
Abraham Lincoln, honest Abe.
Well, he'll be honest with you.
Four score and 40 years.
Andre the Giant was that would have been a good one. Yeah, there's just so many options, but
that's a nightmare.
Yeah, I went with Prince, but I did say I said I think George Clooney's the most handsome guy, but I would not want to make out with him ever.
Give me razor burn.
Yeah, it's too much.
Oh,
Too manly.
RuPaul.
A little
RuPaul.
Rin says Chaz Bono. That is
Oh yeah,
it's a good one. At least there was.
Yeah.
Originally, he
Chaz
had
looks
some
more like a dude than I do.
Yes, that is true. But at least he's got he has some original hardware that might.
I think he's been. I
think
that's
he
gone?
is
full on with us now.
Well, no, I think he did the thing where he transformed.
Waist up.
No. I'm not even.
Did he leave a stem on the apple?
I'll just say you guys can Google how.
Is he a stem and an apple type? A stem and a.
Yeah.
He has a tree and a potting base.
He
has a tree and a potting vase.
He really wanted a man part, so he took one of his lady parts and stretched and elongated it until it became
that's the method.
mannish.
I think that's the man. I think that's the method.
Okay.
That you get some hormones and that kind of goes part of the way.
I don't know how they.
I'll tell you during the break, Vic. It's Vic is very naive. He's very sheltered. He doesn't see the things that we've seen in life.
That little man in the canoe stands up.
Yeah.
Oh God.
He's never been to Thailand like Rob, where
Nope.
at the Thai meat
those
market.
lady boys. Whoa.
Oh, lady boy.
No regrets. No regrets. We just make it through Pattaya.
That's
alive.
the other.
That's all you got to do.
Speaking of Thai, I ordered Thai food last night.
Ooh, that'll stay with you.
While I was watching the game.
What'd you get?
I got some spring rolls and then I got a pad Thai.
Okay, not too spicy. Not
no,
spicy at all.
I did. I got the spiciest. I said, they said, what level spice? I said 5 out of 5.
On pad Thai?
Yeah.
I'm chasing the peanut butter, not the heat in that.
No, it was a bit of a misstep.
Yeah, I'll bet.
So even once remember I told you I was up till midnight watching the game, and then I was also up at 2 a.m. Again.
If at any point during my meal my forehead is beaded with sweat, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pay for it later.
I once was at my favorite Thai restaurant in Houston. Is closed now because the guy who owned it passed away. But he also owned a gym, like a fighting gym. He was from Thailand.
Muay Thai.
He was like the hardest dude ever. His name was Kru Pong, and he when we would train there, you wouldn't get water breaks. It was some hardcore stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, you'd go over and you'd eat this Thai food, which was amazing. And I would go there, sometimes I'd sneak over there, hoping he would not see me, on my lunch break, eating food and not training, because I've got a real job, so I had to go to work. But on my lunch break, I'd go over there and eat. And once I was there, and there was a guy and a gal who were clearly on their first date sitting right next to me.
Oh, no. Did he order poorly?
He ordered the Thai hot.
Oh.
So there was, mild, medium, hot, and Thai hot. And I've had Thai hot twice, and both times.
Is that ghost pepper?
I wouldn't know.
It's
I'm not doing that.
Painfully hot.
Oh God.
And to the point where on the menu, on every
Like a
page of the
warning?
menu, it says if you order Thai hot, there's no refunds. There's no sending back your food.
You signed a document?
They give you and when you order something Thai hot,
Why would anyone? I don't care what kind of heat you enjoy. Why would you order that? Why would you order something they say, you know what? This is so ridiculous that you can't send it back.
well,
In fact, we don't even want credit. You have to pay cash.
they ask you, are you sure? Just understand this
Why,
is
at that point, if the wait staff goes, are you sure about this?
Well, I think it's how they
No.
You know how at the Mexican restaurants here, if the three of us went to a Mexican restaurant and we all order,
I want the 1/2 pepper rating, not even a full pepper. I want the half pepper. I'll add what I want. You don't get to do it. I do.
I'm kind of saying if me, you, and Vic are sitting down at a table, the chances are good that when we order, they're going to say flour.
Yes, of course. I'm white. Yeah.
Flour.
Yeah, flour.
And then they'll go to Vic and they'll say
corn.
Maize.
Maize.
They automatically make an assumption,
and they're right.
And I think
sadly,
Yeah, they are.
I mean, it's not I didn't earn it.
The people who eat that Thai food, that's how they like it.
Right.
But if you're a white man, they say, "Are you sure?" So this guy said, "I'm sure."
Yeah, bring it.
They're having I'm overhearing some of their conversation. They've got an hour. This is like a power lunch date, and he takes a couple bites and then he excuses himself, and he's gone
For a long time.
And she finishes her food. She leaves $20 on the table and says to the waitress, "Can you just tell this guy I had to go back to work?"
He's in the back. He can't leave.
He comes out of the bathroom.
No shirt.
He is soaking wet. His face, his hair. I mean, he is just.
Oh my God.
He has thrown water all over his body. I mean, he is so lucky this gal was. Now, I'm sure he never got a second date, but he was acting like he couldn't believe she left. It was like, dude, you were in the bathroom for 30 minutes. 30 minutes, 5 minutes into your meal. Of course she's gone.
There's a movie with Ben Stiller. Along Came Polly.
Oh, yeah.
You know the scene where they eat Indian food and then he goes back to her apartment with the curtain in the bathroom?
Yeah.
That's the same scenario. Can you imagine?
Oh, that's the worst.
Well, then he clogs the toilet up.
Yeah. It's like...
Gets caught using his her grandmother's towels to clean himself.
It's like a Harry and Dumb and Dumber. Oh, don't use that! Yeah. Don't use that toilet. It's broken. Oh. All right. We'll be right back. We'll wrap up the first hour of the program. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
How did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is a listening learner, so he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to be
Precio.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
George gets justice. The accident wasn't your fault, but now you're facing pain, bills, and uncertainty. You don't have to do it alone at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. They listen, explain your options, and fight for what you deserve. No upfront costs, no stress, just real help when you need it. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Spring is here, and in South Texas, that means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you've been hit by a storm or think you have damage, now is the time to contact Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Don't put your trust in an out-of-town storm chaser. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned, locally based company who will be here for years to come. The team at Stevens Roofing and Solar will give you peace of mind when the storms come rolling in. Call 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ, Joeq, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Thanks, Vic.
If suddenly AJ looks like he's drifting off,
Listen,
we know where he is. He's in a little red Corvette.
I'm very secure in my masculinity.
You have a staunch record.
But
of heterosexuality.
if I were forced into it, I would want someone who was
It's got to be gun to
talented.
Head, though.
Talented, a lot like built like a woman would be preferable. My other option was Jonah Hill. So
I was gonna say something that I was gonna say either way. I'm not sure you're gonna be looking at him.
Maybe Michael Cera, somebody like that. You know,
someone who's like, poor Michael Cera's doing like T-Mobile commercials now.
Is he really?
Yeah, gotta make money somehow.
He's got a beard that doesn't even look real.
What about the is it Michael? Yeah, it's Michael Cera who was doing the it's like an Uber Eats thing where he's like working the grill.
That's the one.
Yeah, okay.
It's like that's Michael Cera.
That's who I was thinking of. Maybe the kid who played Napoleon Dynamite would be a good one. I don't know. I don't really know. Maybe the kid who played Pedro would be a good one.
Or Uncle.
Uncle Rico.
Uncle Rico would be more your type.
Yeah.
That ball
let's just hope no one ever
them their mountains.
Hopefully no one ever puts a gun to my head and says you've got to pick a man to make out with. I hope so.
That is indeed your case. Unless, of course, that's your kink, and I'm happy for you if it happens.
It's not. I appreciate that, though. I appreciate that. We talked a little earlier about the trade the Dallas Cowboys are making with the Pittsburgh Steelers. The trade, according to Adam Schefter, is expected to include a third-round pick and other pick swaps.
Yeah, that's about right.
Expected to be finalized today. So, Cowboys they trade away another mid-round pick. At least this one feels like it's a guy they're going to get some use out of.
We hope.
Because consider what you've got. The return you got on Trey Lance was really the most valuable thing you got from Trey Lance. I say this dead serious. The most valuable thing you got from Trey Lance was he took all the snaps at camp. He was the Oxnard quarterback. Like that was his job.
I thought you were going to say it got Jerry interviewed about it every day.
No, I just mean like when Dak was hurt and they were like,
no, you're right.
Cooper was the starter. They needed somebody to go out and just eat up reps, and he did that. Jonathan Mingo, I mean, good God, you got nothing out of this. He's a zero
every day in every way. He's
not getting better. Listen, you know what? I might start getting better at wide receiver too. It doesn't mean I'm ever going to be an NFL wide receiver.
It's incremental growth. I mean, it's little steps, but we're headed in the right direction, so we've been told.
But this does feel like,
dude, they already got his replacement. They already got his replacement.
I am not a George Pickens. Like I wouldn't want George Pickens on my team, but I also realize George Pickens has a value as a football player that is real and tangible.
And he will be given an environment where personalities like his can flourish. He can grow ahead and be all the Pickens that Pickens has always wanted to be under Tomlin that wasn't allowed. So now under Jerry's light touch, we're going to see all of Carl Pickens, all of him.
George Pickens.
I'm sorry, it was Carl. George. Yeah. All of George. I mean, all the good and all the bad. He is an athletic, go-get-him downfield wide receiver. There's a reason why he was a first-round draft pick, and there's a reason why those numbers are pretty good. But the environment probably was a little bit too stiff in Pittsburgh, and the quarterback situation was awful, and his replacement was in the building, so the Cowboys were in the right place.
Yeah. Mike Tomlin's quote about George Pickens is,
What?
He's just got to grow up, man.
Well, there you go. There you go.
He's got to grow up in a hurry. There's certainly more room for growth, but I think he covered some ground, but he's got a lot more ground to be covered.
He is the acorn that becomes the mighty oak.
All right, we'll be back. Morning Huddle continues, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radio.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5%.
Let's Rodeo San Antonio Brahma style. The herd you love returns to the Alamo Dome for their Let's Rodeo theme game. Join us Friday, May 9th at 7 p.m. when your San Antonio Brahmas battle the DC Defenders. Dust off your boots and grab your cowboy hat to celebrate with rodeo-inspired fun for the whole family. Enjoy a pregame happy hour in the H-E-B Plaza with $3 frozen margaritas and beer. Get your tickets today at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com for tickets. Our town, our team, our herd.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. We've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 5-star reviews on Google. So who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds, through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Another checkup? Why are so many people getting new puppies?
Dr. Kim's veterinary office is littered with cuteness.
We are booked solid for weeks, but who can say no to a puppy, right? Oh, good boy.
She needs to find extra vet techs to get those pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn any moment into something sweeter. There are endless options to choose from to show her she's the best. Hurry! Save 20 to 40% on select apparel, jewelry, chocolates, and more this Mother's Day only at Target. Restrictions apply.
It's almost Mother's Day, and you can now get anything you need delivered with Uber Eats. Well, almost anything. So no, you can't order a relaxing shower, but some beautiful flowers, you bet we deliver those. A bird bath? No. A bath bomb? Absolutely. It's no to a chocolate lab, but yes to some chocolate truffles. So whether it's a last-minute gift for Mother's Day, fresh groceries, or food from your favorite restaurants, get it delivered today with Uber Eats. Order now. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling.
I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-550-8841.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-550-8841. That's 800-550-8841.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you start to head into your morning commute, we are getting reports of a stall. 35 northbound Judson Road off to the shoulder. 410 northbound Rigsby, that's an accident. 1604 eastbound New Gilbo on over to Bandera Road. That's starting to fill in and slow down. Also sluggish on 410 eastbound Calabria to Bandera, and 90 eastbound 211 to Hunt Lane. That's about a 15-minute commute. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA playoffs continued last night with quite a thriller to open the evening. Indiana beat Cleveland 120-119. Tyrese Halliburton with a three with 3 seconds to go to win it. The Golden State Warriors took down the Minnesota Timberwolves 99-88 without Steph Curry in the second half, who's dealing with a hamstring injury. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hump day! Hump day!
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sounds like we need to celebrate Hump Day with a icy cold rhubarb beer.
Oh, I did actually.
I think I'm looking behind Vic right now at the box.
I know. Pledger asked for some yesterday. He saw the photo and was like, "Oh, I want some of that." So Carbach hooked us up.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Carbach folks.
Yeah, I'll talk about that even more coming up at the end of this segment.
But
I'll talk about it.
I know it was coming, but rhubarb.
Yeah, who would have thought, huh?
Evidently, you can make a pie out of it.
You can.
I've been told.
Who told you that?
My father.
Well,
when I said, "Hey, you want to try this beer?" It's got rhubarb in it, and I was saying it jokingly because I have no idea what rhubarb is. And my dad turned to me and adopted this southern twang, and he said, "Like rhubarb pie?" And I went, "What?" I hope not.
Why, yes, Opie.
Seriously. Okay, Opie. Like rhubarb pie?
Hurry and get a slice before Eddie Haskell comes over and eats it all.
I hope not, Pop, but maybe. Rhubarb pie. What exactly is a rhubarb?
Oh, man. Yeah, good stuff, though.
I imagine it has a twangy taste.
Did you try it yesterday?
No, I looked it up. I looked up the rhubarb. See, I didn't have any because it wasn't cold yet. And I threw some in the freezer, and my dad had his glass, and I didn't have a chance to tast any of it. He drank it all.
I recommend you give it a try tonight.
I have 5 more sitting in the fridge.
Recommend you give it a try. Let's go back to the Cavs-Pacers game, which is one of the it's so hard to even now to say one of the most incredible finishes of the playoffs because it might not even be the most incredible finish of this round.
It might not be. I mean, I've never seen an icy, and I say icy in that I've never seen one dude hold the ball for so long and go find the shot. Normally it's a one-pass dribble shot. You had to do it. He grabbed the rebound, dribbled out around 2 guys, faked my man Jerome out once, and then hesied over to the side and then fade away through. It was as slow motion a death punch as I've ever seen. It was ripping your heart out and showing it to you beating as the entire Cleveland defense watched him just dribble through them. I'm the likes of that shot. I've never seen anything like that.
I mean, it very much was like a video game where you've got to create a player.
Yes, that's exactly it.
At the end of the game, you don't want one of your regular players taking a shot. It has to be your create a player that you've maxed out all his shots. So you dribble, get it all the way out, and then just chuck one up, and it goes in. I mean, it's pretty wild.
Oh, man. What do you do if you're Cleveland, man?
This is a crippling loss for the Cavs because, quite frankly, they were the better team for most of the night, and they were doing it without 3 of their top 6 players in their rotation.
Mitchell was phenomenal.
I mean, Mitchell was in God mode basically.
But we were talking about this in the break. If you could hit the shot that Halliburton hit in the entirety, you got a game winner dagger in the playoffs, or you could get that Donovan Mitchell there in the second quarter.
That dunk
on Siakam that just, God, snatched souls and children's souls after that one.
I
don't know.
It's tough, but I do think that there are probably kids in Indiana today who are
there's a fadeaway Halliburton
at lunchtime throwing up fadeaways and screaming Hallie, and
yes,
and it's going in. And
did you see the tweet right afterwards? I think it went to some effect. I bet Tyrese's dad just body slammed his mom into the coffee table.
Yeah, he wasn't allowed to be there to see it, unfortunately.
He didn't see it live.
Yeah, and you said in the post-game presser, Halliburton said, I bet I'm not maybe next year I won't be the most overrated player in the NBA.
Talk about fuel to the fire, man.
Yep.
Awesome. What a great quote.
But this number is fascinating. At the end of the third quarter, the win probability for the Cavaliers was 97%. You can go back to, there was a point at the beginning of the second quarter where it was 94%, and that was in the second quarter. They had a 35-15 lead. Into the second quarter, and it's like they were burying this team.
And it looked like Indiana was profit-taking. Like, hey, we're good.
And
we're going to ease off. You can have it. We're going to go home with a lead. We feel good about ourselves.
Doing it with no Evan Mobley, no Darius Garland, and no DeAndre Hunter. All 3 of them scratches right before the game. And we knew Garland was a game-time decision.
Mobley.
I didn't realize Mobley was even in risk of not playing.
Yeah, my son came over and said, yeah, and we don't know why. We don't know why
I'm not sure. And then DeAndre Hunter, he's out as well, one of their best defenders. And they dominated that game until about the last 7-8 minutes, and it just started to melt away. And you talked about it early in the show. When you start to melt away, some of it has to go on the players. And the Cavs did not shoot the ball well last night, particularly outside of Donovan Mitchell.
And he's a volume dude anyway. So
yeah, and he got a lot of his from the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
But Ty Jerome was horrific. I could not have been worse. If you go. If you're 1 of 14 from 1 of 14 from the field, you should stop at about 1 of 10 from the field, unless you're Donovan Mitchell or you're the guy. If you're Ty Jerome and you start out 1 of 10, just stop. It ain't your night.
And then don't be a defensive liability on top of that.
That would help also.
And remember, the shot was made over him. They were trying to find some offense. Evan Mobley proved his value last night. They were a shell of themselves defensively, especially when it came down late in the game. Jared Allen has brain farts. I don't know what other term to use. He gets lost sometimes. And Mobley was the second best defender in the NBA other than Wemby. But, I mean, that's for another discussion. And he deserved what he got, and his absence was noticeable. But the problem at the end of the game, while the defense was atrocious, was – Donovan Mitchell can't do it all alone. And Darius Garland, he halves the burden. He can go get his own shot, and he's a good bailout, and he's either way, he's a good bailout, and Donovan's a good bailout for Garland when they're in there together. They missed the ability of somebody just go get a shot, go make a play, and it was. And I'm a fan of Ty Jerome, but it's above his pay grade to ask him to do that.
Agreed.
And he was trying to have to do something that he's just not capable of doing.
And Max Strus had a good game. It was just. It's hard to explain where it went wrong for them, honestly. And maybe it's because I'm not giving enough credit to the Pacers for coming back.
They're playing really, really well, but that's Cleveland. This was on Cleveland last night.
I kind of felt that way to me, too. And this was, but make no mistake, you'll see if you watch the highlights, if you didn't watch the game, you're going to see a lot of Tyrese Halliburton making that shot. The Cavs basically held him in check all night.
Yeah, I mean, but Nembhard on the other side of the court had a game.
Nembhard had a game. Miles Turner had a game. Aaron Nesmith had a game. But for I don't think Tyrese Halliburton had 20 points in the game.
I don't think so.
So this was
he's overrated.
You did the job that you needed to do on him until the end of the game, and Cleveland's got to be. First of all, they better be nervous right now. I'm reading. They listed as DNP sprained ankle for Evan Mobley.
An ankle. I heard lower leg, but I didn't know what.
Sprained toe for Garland and sprained thumb for DeAndre Hunter.
I expect all three will be available in
Indiana. I think
at
they
some
have
point.
to be.
If it's not,
it's desperation mode now, right?
Man. There was a year, I forget the year, when the Spurs lost to the Clippers there early when Chris Paul hit a miracle shot late to beat us and knock us out in one of our good years when the Spurs were making a run. And it happened to a team that knew what it was to win and knew what it was going to take to get back. And, it took some time, but they eventually did. This is so tough on Cleveland because remember at mid-season, the things they were doing, every other team that had done what they were doing had won the title. It wasn't like they were just playing really well. They were doing things that, the NBA only sees periodically as far as offensive rating and defensive rating and turnovers and all the things that matter and the stats that matter to champions. They were number 1, number 2, number 3 in the league all year long. They have everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else you do if you're Cleveland. You just batten down the hatches and hold on, but they're headed for one of those humiliating who are we kind of series defeats. And I'm really curious to see how they come through this because a typical Cleveland reaction would be to fire somebody or to, send somebody packing. But what they should do is look across the court. The Pacers had the same thing happen to them last year, and they kept the thing together. They didn't do anything.
That's true.
We're not extra. We're not letting anybody go. We know we have enough. And it didn't look like it was going to pay off during the regular season. It looked like maybe they should have done some stuff. But here we sit. So I hope Cleveland gets the memo and says, just keep it together. This was an abhorrent couple of games where you did just enough to be competitive, but you didn't do the winning things.
Well, remember last year, the Thunder were the 1 seed. They swept out the Pelicans and then got beat by the Mavericks. And everybody, it was like, what? And Mavericks obviously get all the way to the finals, and it wasn't a in hindsight, we're not going to look back at that and go, oh, they lost to the Mavericks because the Mavericks made the finals. But the Thunder were the 1 seed, and they lost in the second round to a team that was supposed to be inferior to them.
Don't do anything dumb. They held on.
Stay the course.
Stay the course. Now, with Cleveland, though, they're down there's nothing more to do. This is the team. If they meddle with it, there will be a lesser team, and they know that. So let's hope, first of all, they find their depth and this goes 7. But this is a Herculean effort.
I think so too. On the other side, I want to get more into this Timberwolves Warriors series, at least the start of it. Good start for Golden State, but with Steph Curry, a big question mark. How feasible is it to ask him to maintain this? We'll talk about that next. I got to say about Karbach. And Rob mentioned it. The Rhubarb is the newest beer from Karbach, the Fun Series beer. It is a field beer, which I'm going to have to talk to Eric about what a field beer is. To me, it's just a low ABV fruited sour, and it's got a little bit of almost a wine spritz kind of taste to it. I drank my share of them last night. The Carbach was kind enough to send us over some samples, and I put down quite a few. Very easy drinking, very smooth, very delicious. And if that's not your thing, no big deal, man. It's just a way for the Fun Series is all about them trying new things, testing the boundaries. But if you want something simple, you like the Love Street, their Cold Style Blonde, that's always available. That's their best seller. Hopadillo is their IPA, their flagship IPA, super hop forward profile. And then the Crawford Bock, Ziegenbach, those are great everyday drinkers as well. Something for everybody in their lineup, and they are all over San Antonio. So if you're out and about, you go see that rhubarb maybe in your local grocery store, grab it, give it a try, see what you think. But when you're out at the bar, go ahead and ask your bartender to please make it a Carbach.
Right now, the Home Depot has spring deals under $20. So no matter what you're working on, the deals are blooming at the Home Depot with savings on plants, flowers, soil, and more. Then light up your outdoor space with Hampton-based string lights. Was $34.97, now only $19.99. And get the grill going with two 16-pound bags of Kingsford charcoal. Was $19.98, now only $17.88. Don't miss spring deals under $20 now through May 7th at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, valid on select items only.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back! It's my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates. Divorce is tough, but it's up to you to take control and avoid your spouse from dictating the terms. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about securing your assets, safeguarding what you've worked hard for, and avoiding unnecessary losses. Visit TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
I had a dream about Pop last night.
You said this in the office earlier. This is kind of creepy. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to go there.
Look, there's nothing sexual. I know you and Pledge. That's immediately where you go to.
It wasn't that kind of dream, Pledge.
It wasn't, Pledge. Perfectly dry when I woke up.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Morning Huddle 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star. Coming up in the next segment, we'll dig it into the Cowboys making the trade for George Pickens. We've talked about that a little bit.
George Pickens.
I say it a little bit. We've talked about it a lot today on the show. But yeah, I like John says, let's skip basketball and talk about the Cowboys making a trade. Nobody cares about basketball. The Spurs have been done. Well, friend, the Cowboys have also been done. We're not going to drop and pretend that the NBA playoffs aren't happening just because the Cowboys actually got off their ass and did something for once. We're talking plenty of Cowboys, and that is the story of the day.
And we're finalizing details, but it looks like a third rounder initially and pick swaps coming up. So the Cowboys they're spending some capital on this. This is going to have to work,
and we'll get into the details of it. And I'm with you that it does have to work. But I do want to talk about the Timberwolves Warriors game. That if you had told me you were going to get 13 minutes out of Steph Curry, I would have said
it's over
on
the road, and none in the second half.
You and I looked at this series different because I thought coming in 6 versus 7 seed. These are two kind of evenly matched teams. By the standings, these two teams are basically even Stevens. The Timberwolves were 1 game better than the Warriors in the regular season. But also, mind you, the Warriors added Jimmy Butler late in the season. So in my mind, it was like these two teams are a coin flip. I liked Golden State last night getting 6 points.
I liked the other side.
And as soon as Steph Curry got hurt, I went, oh, what have I done? The Warriors, we talk about experience and how much it matters. Not that this Timberwolves team isn't experienced, but they're certainly less experienced.
There's no excuse for the way that the Timberwolves opened last night.
Well,
there's
none. Chris Finch wasn't trying to hear one either. He basically calls out Anthony Edwards.
And he should be.
He says everything starts and ends with Ant. I thought he struggled, and you could see kind of the light go out a little bit for a while. That ain't a good thing to say or a good thing to hear.
By the end of the second quarter, he took a fadeaway, here you go 3. Right there, there's like 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. It was a gimme 3. They were like, you fool, you want that? Take it. I mean, they were going to – he was cold, and they allowed him to take a shot. And it was at that moment you could see Finch was like, man, what is your problem?
The first half was so bad for Edwards. 0 of 8 from the field. He went to halftime with 1 point, and they were down 13 points at the break. And he ended up starting the game 0 for 10. He finished 9 of 23, came on late, but he was so bad early on it didn't really matter.
That can never happen again. And that's the way Finch has to approach this. This can never happen again. If you want to be if you're going to be what you pretend to want to be, that can never happen again.
That was the first time, because we've talked about Anthony Edwards as a guy who we can picture being the face of the league.
And I thought it would be, the launch was last night. I really felt like everything was keyed toward this. You were the primetime game. You're going against the perceived, the king emeritus in Golden State. They don't really have anybody that can guard you. It should have been your night, and you came out flat. And then you really didn't try to fix anything until the third quarter.
What other superstar player in the league can start a game 0 for 10 and he just starts shoulders slumping, like not hustling anymore? Like, imagine Kobe Bryant doing that. Imagine, I just can't. Anybody who's done anything in this league, I can't imagine them.
Well, it's just not working tonight.
Do you know how many times Allen Iverson probably started a game 0 for 8 and was still like diving on the floor for loose balls, trying to make plays happen, trying to get his team going? Anthony Edwards, that last night was the basketball was bad, but to me the body language and the defeated look was the worst part about it.
Consider what his head coach had to do. His final recourse, and you don't want to call an individual player out, a grown-ass man, a grown-ass multi-millionaire man, and talk about his effort. Think about how far things have gone that Chris Finch, his head coach, had to talk about his superstar, the heir apparent's effort in a Game 1 playoff series at home.
Well, and Claymore said, sir, he just struggle. No, he didn't just struggle. They're struggling, and then there's like rolling over.
Like, man, it's just not working tonight.
I don't think he pretends. I think he's great. I think last night what he did was he knew he was beat, and he just was like, let's just get it over with. And it was just weird body language from a guy of his caliber. And the fact that his coach had to say, you're the leader of this team, what is there to talk about? You've got to come out and set the tone. If your shot's not going, you're still the guy who has to carry the energy. If I've got to talk to guys about having the right energy in an opening second-round game, then we are not on the same page.
This is a kid that was on Team USA. That is considered one of the top 10 basketball players to lace him up in the world right now. And your head coach in a second-round playoff series had to question your effort and attitude.
I also wonder if the rock fight they just had with the Rockets, maybe they were –
No.
No, I'm saying maybe the Warriors came out of this thing going –
No.
We've been through the toughest stuff. We're just
getting the Warriors, no. I give the Warriors every bit of credit because not only they're doing exactly what you said, but I promise you Draymond was talking to Edwards every second of the game. If everything that Edwards did wrong, Draymond was telling him about it. This was both a mental and physical collapse.
Because the Wolves have been sitting around waiting, and maybe there's something to that rest versus rust.
It does matter, and it's not missing. There's nothing wrong with missing a bunch of shots, but you have to make up for it with effort elsewhere. You have to continue to make a difference and be a threat one way or another. And up in the second quarter, Anthony Edwards took a couple of jump shots and stood there and watched it. Just stood there and slumped his shoulders and watched the rebound bounce around. One time he got a kickback, but the other one he watched a fast break go the other direction. And that's 8th grade unforgivable. Sit back and go do your homework in the locker room kind of stuff.
Frank said, "Ant is this generation's James Harden, great in the regular season, disappear in the playoffs."
Don't go that far. Don't go that far.
You must have missed the playoffs last year. He does not disappear in the playoffs. This dude is a monster. What we saw last night was very weird.
Well, it was pouting, and the bullies were talking to him. I mean, it was not – you're at home, and it's a terrible situation to be in. I don't expect him to do it again, especially after his coach called him out. But it's a situation where that's humiliating. That's one of those things that when it comes to negotiate and when it comes to, if it ever comes to him being on another team, this situation will be brought up. Is that ever going to happen again?
You also I get that Draymond isn't the biggest threat on offense, but you can't let Draymond Green score 18 points. Like, you have to at least put someone, at least think you're going to guard him, because if he does have a decent night, he's going to light you up. And that was last night. He actually had a really good game on the offensive end, and the Timberwolves never adjusted to it.
Steve Kerr's just a wizard, man. That's X's and O's right there. To have him pop open and be the spindle to the spokes, to be he's going to deliver, and if you don't step to him, he's going to hit the jump shot. It's just brilliant basketball.
Frank said, I saw the Western Conference Finals versus an overweight Luka last year. Frank, remember, Anthony Edwards was 22 years old last year.
This is Nico Collins. What do you mean overweight?
Yeah, I don't know what you're saying, man.
Nico, is this you?
I think Anthony Edwards is a great postseason player, or has proven to be so far, but last night was disastrous.
Childish.
I'll also say this about the Timberwolves. I don't know what the health of Steph Curry is, but if I came into the game and said, like before the game started, I said, okay, Steph's going to play 13 minutes and Jimmy Butler's going to shoot about 30% from the field. And you responded by saying, well, we'll never be within double digits in the second half of the game. I would have said, oh my. Imagine if I told you Steph was playing 13 minutes, Jimmy was going to have a terrible shooting night, and it was never going to be a single-digit game in the second half.
And Buddy Hield owes 10% of his next contract to the defensive strategist.
Yeah.
Because Buddy is reborn.
He is having himself a run.
Reborn.
And he's rebounding. He's playing a little defense, doing all the things that people kind of question whether he could do or not. I've been pretty impressed with Buddy Hield. And I am not a long-term Buddy Hield backer.
No.
But I'm sitting here going, okay.
You remember what he was at Oklahoma, and you think, you know what? He was destined for a lot more than what he's been. And we're seeing this finally.
I've been impressed. And maybe a lot of it is, listen, Buddy Hield has spent his career in
buried
places where careers go to die. He started in New Orleans, and he spent a bunch of time in Sacramento. He spent a bunch of dead years in Indiana. Last year, he was on a dead Philly team. This year, he's on a team with some life, and he's showing some life. I got to give him credit where it's due, man.
And he's been a revelation. Without him, they don't win last night.
Yep. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll dig deep into that Cowboys trade. We'll talk about the ups and the downs of it. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from Newstalk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working a couple of trouble spots along Loop 410 northbound before you get to FM 78. This wreck has been moved off to the shoulder. It's still causing about a 7-8 minute delay slow from Houston Street. On 410 northbound just past Rigsby, that wreck has been moved off to the shoulder. 35 northbound Judson Road, disabled vehicle off to the shoulder as well. Starting to slow down, 90 eastbound, 211 to Hunt Lane, and delays along 1604 eastbound New Gilbo to Bandera Road. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $250 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends June 14th. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here with my good friends from Prize Picks. I'm just one of millions of members of Prize Picks that play daily fantasy sports every day, and things just keep getting better. How about 2,000x on your cash today? That's right, cash in on the basketball playoffs with Prize Picks. Don't miss your best chance to add your favorite players from the court on Prize Picks lineup. And whether it's points, rebounds, assists, and whatever else, take your pick of more or less for your shot to win up to 2,000x your cash today. Turn up your playoff hot takes into tickets on basketball and championship winnings every day. And there's stuff going on all week. Every Tuesday, Prize Picks will discount several projections on the board. They take up to 15 to 25% off savings and fun. And then there's Big Flex Friday. Those picks that don't win, you get your net losses back in promo funds up to your limit as soon as the lineup settles. Hey, there's money back. That's why I love Prize Picks. 2,000 times your money and some free ones. Download Prize Picks. Use the code Alamo for 50 free bucks. That's Prize Picks. Go run your game.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So what's that about?
So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Hey, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATS.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we're going to react to the 2 playoff games from last night.
Plus, we expect to hear from Coach Wade Phillips in our Brahmas Roundup at 4:35.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jason Minix, and you're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1. Rocking and rolling on a hump day. Little audio slave for that ass. Oh, I hit the post. You saw that, Vic?
Yeah, right there. It's like nice. Jamming on the one.
Yeah.
If you were to take $100 to Las Vegas,
I would lose it before I left the airport.
And you went to the window at the sports book.
Oh, I thought you talked about the dispensary.
Oh, no, not that one.
That's before that's after the airport.
Okay, but before the sports book.
Yeah.
You've got your crisp $100 bill.
Okay.
And you said, I would like to bet that the road teams will win all 4 game ones, and the Pacers will also win game 2.
That there will not be a single home winner
the
in
first,
the second round.
The first 5 games of the conference semifinals will be the road teams win every game. Please put that bet in for me. They would hand you a ticket back, and today you would go down to the sports book and you would hand them that ticket that you bought for $100, and they would hand you back $61,311. $61,000.
I think that might even get a free steak meal out of this. I think if I had done that, they might even give me a steak dinner, too.
They would not want you to come back. They'd
give me a steak dinner and say, no, come back.
They don't want you to gamble at their establishment.
You're from the future.
You're too lucky.
Yeah, you know Michael J. Fox and came back on this weird DeLorean because...
Yeah, you're from the future. You got to leave.
You just picked 5 road wins.
$61,000 off of $100.
If I had my wherewithal, if I had a crack staff of researchers, or maybe just ChatGPT, there's got to be a trend here. There's got to be something in the numbers that is a controllable factor.
To explain why this is happening?
But this is not just happenstance. That was after the 3rd road. And at the 4th road win, you go, and then at the 5th road win. So there's something in the numbers that either the refs are calling something differently. I don't know what it is, but this is beyond just lightning striking, right? 5?
It's hard to imagine that it's a coincidence. But
my gut tells me scoring's down. I don't have any proof of that, but I feel like it is. There's a lot of 90-point losers. My gut says that the games are longer. I don't have any proof, but I feel like they're longer. My gut says that, the let them play, the let them foul mantra is in effect, where they are being allowed to foul to an extent, which is a great equalizer. But there's something in here. I can't imagine that. I mean, while it's an interesting conversation thing, it's not good for business.
No.
This isn't something that the NBA as a league is excited about, that road teams are going into home court where people are spending, thousands and thousands of dollars to watch their team collapse in the last 2 minutes. It's not good for long-term fandom, at least for the home viewers.
Well, I'll say this, just a quick glance. The total in the 5 games, 3-1-1 to the over. So only one game's been low
scoring. Like I said,
scoring.
my gut feels like it's not, but so that's fairly normal, I would expect, if we're hitting the over.
Last night was the Warriors game was the first of this round that didn't go over.
I'm really curious, like Brigade Bar, anybody got any theories? Because this is so crazy that the roadies have and keep in mind, these teams fought 82 games to get the one homer advantage. I mean, you wonder, what's the effort worth? Anybody who gets mad at me for resting my star, look at this. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. The weirdest part about it, I think, is in most of these games, I guess in most, 3 of the 5, the exceptions being game 1 of the Cleveland Pacers series,
which was just a roping, yeah.
And then the Warriors-Timberwolves last night. In the other 3 games, the home team not only had an early lead, they had a big early lead.
So maybe we should be looking at that little slice of all the games. Did the reffing switch up? Was there what happened? How did every team collapse in the last quarter, or even worse, in the last 4 minutes?
I mean, could it also be that teams are taking their foot off the gas?
Well, there's obviously a lot of things, but yes.
You can't. I wouldn't imagine it would happen in the playoffs, but it seems like maybe it is.
Can you imagine in the NFL that every road team won in the first weekend of the playoffs?
No. Oh, my God. It'd be a nightmare for the NFL.
Can you imagine? I mean, everybody'd be celebrating the fact that it was so random and, we don't see it very often. But at the end of the day.
When they wouldn't be celebrating? Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes. So at the end of the day, this ain't good for business.
No.
This isn't a good thing.
No. I will say, I think part of it is, you know what? I can't even say that because part of it is there's more parity than maybe we think.
Well, I do believe there's that.
And I'm responsible for pretending like there wasn't, because I was the one who said, I've been saying all year long, there's 3 good teams and then there's everybody else.
But those good ones,
all three of those good teams have gotten their ass kicked in the last 2 days.
Very straight. And I think I know I'm enjoying this. I know that in the short term I'm enjoying this. I hope this doesn't screw up a finals that I've been really kind of had circled for a long time.
Switching gears real quick, the Dallas Cowboys pull off a trade with the Pittsburgh Steelers. George Pickens, what would we call him, mercurial wide receiver?
Well, he hasn't faded yet. So, yeah, mercurial kind of implies that he's on the downward trend.
No, I don't mean it that way. Maybe I don't mean it that way.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm using the wrong word.
But he could be mercurial.
I'm trying to think of a guy who is... He can be really good for you, or he can be a nightmare for you. He's a guy who is
volatile.
Yeah, maybe that's a good word. I think first of all, let me start by saying kudos to the Cowboys for going out and doing this. It's one thing to throw 4th-round picks away like they're nothing and on a Jonathan Mingo, a guy who's never done anything in this league, and suddenly expect him to do it. Anytime you do that, I'm gonna come out here and bash you. I don't care if Johnny Mingo went in round 1 2 years ago or not. He's had 2 years where he showed he's not a good NFL player, and you still gave up a real asset. Make no mistake, a 4th-round pick is a real asset. Just like you gave up a 4th-round pick for Trey Lance, a real asset for a guy you never got anything out of. This is a 3rd-round pick. Again, real value, but I do believe this is a guy who is an impact player, and I don't think the Cowboys would give up a 3rd-round pick. I say that like I just talked about. They throw him away willy-nilly. I don't think you give up a 3rd-round pick when a guy's going into the last year of his rookie deal if you don't anticipate being the team that signs him to an extension.
I think you're exactly right.
You don't pay a 3rd-round pick for a 1-year rental of a wide receiver. So I think the Cowboys, I expect them to, and I don't know what kind of money George Pickens will command. It certainly won't be what CeeDee Lamb commanded or what Jamar Chase or these guys who just got huge money in the offseason got. But it's going to be a healthy amount of money, especially if he has a year that the Cowboys have reason to be excited about. So it is a commitment from the Cowboys, which I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for the Cowboys to go out and get a real impact player, not just some guy you hope is going to, slide through the cracks. That's not going to work. This is a situation where you're having to take on a guy who's got baggage. He is, his own coach was saying he's got to grow up. He's a pain in the ass. Guys like him with the kind of talent that he has, rarely are teams looking forward to getting rid of him. And the Steelers were looking forward to getting rid of George Pickens. But sometimes a new environment can be helpful. I think whatever you think of Dak, I think that Dak is going to be the best quarterback he's had throwing him balls.
Oh, easily.
In his career.
And on the other side, this is the best tandem that Dak's had.
Did Dak had CD and Amari Cooper at the same time, right?
Well, you can go back to Dak with like Dez and Terrence Williams. He had CD, but by the time Cooper was done, man,
Cooper
they ended
was
up trading him for
declining
like
at
a
least.
6th-round pick. You go back, Dez, Terrence with Cole Beasley on the roster, Bryce Butler. That was a pretty good foursome. But as far as the tandem of starters, CD and Gallup, when Gallup was rookie in that second year healthy, was a pretty good tandem, but this duo has the numbers to prove it. Pickens is a productive receiver in an unproductive offense.
Yeah. Well, and Michael Gallup, I guess you're right. He had a 1,000-yard season once.
Yeah, his second year was pretty impressive. He did exactly what Dak needed. A guy that was going to go up and.
Michael Gallup's second year is very similar to George Pickens' second year.
Yeah, so this is as good as Dak has had, and God knows we got enough tight ends running around the building. So as far as guys to throw to, Dak's been taken care of.
Well, so this kind of, in my mind, this makes up for the fact that they didn't draft a wide receiver at all, even though Cowboys fan was clamoring for wide receiver help on draft day. They didn't get any on round 1, didn't get any round day 2, didn't get any day 3, and they're going, what the hell? And we said as much when we were kind of grading the Cowboys draft. I was a big believer. I didn't think the Cowboys should have taken a wide receiver in round 1. I think the Cowboys did the right thing by building on their line in round 1. But I was also like, well, now you're starting CD and a Jalen, and that ain't good.
Pick your favorite.
So this makes up for that in my mind.
It does. It absolutely does. But I will say this: they planned on praying that they did get a wide receiver in the first round. I do believe that they wanted the Arizona kid. That was the idea. They were hoping he was going to get there because we find out that the Cowboys and the Steelers were talking about this deal before the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't make it work, which makes me think the Cowboys didn't want to make it work. They were hoping they could get the wide receiver, not worry about it. And they didn't get what they wanted, and now they're going to spend capital, which is a 3rd rounder now, and we do expect some pick swaps to be named before this deal is signed.
Yeah, so this is an investment. And, again, I don't think the Cowboys make this investment unless they expect George Pickens to be a Cowboy for the foreseeable future.
Or, on the other side of this, fail fast. Contract runs out next year, doesn't work, goodbye. You're out a couple of draft picks and some swaps, but at least you're not hung around with.
But how often can the Cowboys just be out mid-round draft picks?
At some point, on the other side of this, I don't want to keep this dude around and have to pay him for output that isn't necessarily going to come.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't think that's going to be the proposition. I really don't. I know that he is a productive wide receiver, and as long as they can keep that in check and have him realize that you arrived as WR2, and you're going to have a very specific skill set and requirements because CD is the dude that's going to catch. He's going to catch 100 footballs next year.
Let's look at the other side of this. The Steelers moving on from George Pickens. Am I maybe reading into it too much to think that this might be bad news for them on the Aaron Rodgers front?
No,
like maybe
Metcalf's coming. I don't think that's. I think this is more a salary cap thing. I think it's more important to keep him if you don't get Aaron Rodgers.
because now you've got DK Metcalf. I guess they've got Calvin Austin and
I'll tell you this. I said it
Robert
before.
Woods.
Well, Bobby Trees is 105. But,
right.
But as far as eye for talent, the Steelers scouts have an eye for wide receiver. They're always drafting good wide receivers, so I trust.
However, they are always a pain in the ass.
They are. I mean, there's an attitude about them, but those guys, Juju was there before. Pickens is coming through there. There's been another one or two that have come through that have been adequate to good NFL wide receivers that just couldn't stay very long in Pittsburgh. One, because there was a guy just like him that they just drafted, and two, because of the attitude. But they have an eye for talent, so I trust that they got a first or second year guy that they go, he might not be everything Pickens is, but he also on the neck up isn't all that either. I mean, he doesn't have the problems he has. So I trust that the guy arriving is talented and that Pittsburgh has talent sitting there too.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I think this is, at a minimum, it's not a move you can criticize for Dallas because somebody had to go out and do something. I'm gonna laud them here for going out and making an effort because, had they stood pat,
they just
it would
opened
have
the
been pretty
door
frustrating
for Johnny Ringo to be a superstar. They're going to have to focus all their attention on the other dudes.
I don't know why.
And then we're going to go to Ringo and not Mingo just to make him a different. But Johnny Mingo.
I would have said, here's the deal, Steelers. We'll give you a third-round pick, and we'll give you Johnny Mingo.
Johnny Mingo. Think of the jersey sales.
Johnny Mingo.
Johnny Mingo.
Now, that's a Pittsburgh man. That's and that's how I would sell it to you. I'd say, that's a Pittsburgh man right there. Think of that name, Mingo. Sounds like bingo.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm selling
Mingo. I
Johnny
don't know.
Mingo.
I don't know how I'd sell it, but I would have sold it to the Steelers that they needed Johnny Mingo.
If he was your buddy, could you call him anything other than Johnny Mingo? That's one word, right?
That's what I would call him, Johnny Mingo.
Johnny Mingo.
That's
it
right.
Has to go with a go.
Johnny Mingo. Boy, Johnny Mingo, it looks like someone stepped on your grave.
Johnny Mingo.
I'd say it all the time. All the time. Why, Johnny Mingo?
Get out there and cover that kickoff, Johnny Mingo. Get out on that bomb squad.
Johnny, we're going to need you to learn how to hold kicks, Johnny Mingo. You ever held a kick before? You got a new job here, Johnny Mingo.
Your one and only job is to shag the passes when the quarterback's warming up.
Oh man, we need you to we need you to help hoist this net up when they make the kicks.
And right after the kickoff, your job is to run out there and grab that tee. It's Johnny Mingo.
On a windy day,
day,
you might have to put your finger on top of that there ball, Johnny Mingo. You want to be part of this team, these are the little things you're going to have to do.
Cost us a fourth rounder. Get up there and get that tee, Johnny Mingo.
Johnny Mingo, Carl in section 432 is out. I'm going to need you to strap on this this beer tub to your chest and go sell us a few Miller Lights.
Johnny Mingo. Come back in the second half in case we need you.
I'll tell you what, you sell 40 Miller Lights today. I'm gonna put a nameplate back on your locker, Johnny
Our
Mingo.
Emergency receiver, Johnny Mingo.
Right.
He spent the first half selling beer on the second mezzanine. He's been called into action.
It's also beer man, and you can get an autograph. Like they're like, hey, Johnny Mingo's up in the 400 signing autographs and slanging Miller Lite.
I thought he was the one from the movie. He's the football player. I don't want that autograph.
Yeah, no. Well, Val Kilmer died.
Well, that's
You know, that was the thing. That's the bummer.
Wow, that got really dark.
Well, he did die. I mean,
suddenly that went real sad.
I mean, it's just that he died. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. He died, and I think
most people don't know that. Most people don't even know.
Oh, I guess to be fair, Val Kilmer wasn't Johnny Ringo. Johnny Ringo was the bad guy that Val Kilmer killed in the movie.
Right.
Johnny Ringo. He's with the.
I forget what that actor's name is.
It's like he's got a name like Howitzer Explosion guy. It's got a good name, like Pierce Steele.
Michael Bean or
no,
Bean.
That's not it. Michael Bean. Doesn't strike fear.
Biehn.
Good bad guy name.
No, sorry. No, I don't know that name. But man, he does look like a good bad guy.
He's a good bad guy.
With that mustache and that black hat. I still haven't gotten a cowboy hat. I don't know what I don't know what the right shape is for me of a cowboy hat. Do you have a cowboy hat?
That's why you go to an expert.
Yeah.
What's yours look like?
More like a Tejano hat.
Like a sombrero?
No. Like a cowboy hat.
Like is it huge? Like way bigger than your head?
No.
It's straw.
It's actually. I think I probably outgrew it.
Is it
It's a straw hat?
Or is
No.
it a beaver?
Oh, it's
okay.
Yeah.
You're fancy.
My dad gave it to me about, 10, 15 years ago.
Órale, güey.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I only wore it like once.
What color is it?
Hat. It's black.
Negro.
You got the Clint black hat.
Yeah, that's right. It's got a little thing around the...
I follow a hat makers on...
I do too.
Insta. It's fascinating to me.
Rin says it's pronounced Bain. Okay.
Is that it?
Yeah, that looks right. Michael Bain.
Michael Bain. Well, that's kind of a good name.
He's got a mustache that goes all the way to here.
It's a good one.
Like to his jawline.
Oh,
almost.
yeah.
It's like,
the handlebars.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. No, it all stays close to his face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he also has the little soul patch
Got
right here.
Yeah.
You look like that. You were born to be a gunfighter.
That's right.
You have to be.
And that's kind of when I get a cowboy hat, I want it to kind of look like maybe I'm a gunfighter.
Well, see, that's why you go to a hat dude, like what's the term for
a hatter?
A hatter.
A hatter, yeah.
You go to a Mad Hatter.
He doesn't have to be mad. He can be a friendly hatter.
The reason they were Mad Hatters is they were working a whole lot with one of the things they used to mold the hats was mercury.
Oh.
So they were working with mercury and going crazy for over the years from working with mercury.
Fair enough.
But you need to go to a mercury crazed...
A mercury-free hatter is who I would
you want
look
the
for.
crazed hatter, so you come up with something interesting.
Okay. I'm going to work on it. I got to decide what... And I wonder if they let me try things on and see if I look crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then they'll mold it for you the way you want it.
Okay. All right.
Go to Paris Hatters. They'll take care of you.
Yeah.
All right, friends. Halfway there on a hump day. We've made it. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $250 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends June 14th. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
Spring is here, and in South Texas, that means storms, wind, rain, and hail. If you've been hit by a storm or think you have damage, now is the time to contact Stevens Roofing and Solar at 210-785-0994. Don't put your trust in an out-of-town storm chaser. Stevens Roofing is a family-owned, locally based company who will be here for years to come. The team at Stevens Roofing and Solar will give you peace of mind when the storms come rolling in. Call 210-785-0994 for Stevens Roofing.
Carbach Brewing was not born in San Antonio, Texas, but they have certainly gone out of their way to make San Antonio their second home. We had the head brewer come in, and he said when they first started to reach outside of Houston, San Antonio was the place they wanted to be, and does it show. Carbach beer is all over our great city, from their in-your-face flagship IPA, Hopadillo, to the Ziegenbach, to their bestseller, the Love Street, their Kolsch-style blonde. There is something for everyone in Carbach's lineup, and it is all over the place. Of course, you're going to find it at the grocery stores. Of course, you're going to find it at the liquor stores, but it's also at a bunch of bars and restaurants around town. They wanted to make this their second home, and that's what it's become. So when you're out, you're watching the games at your local sports bar, your local restaurant, your local hangout, you're thinking, I want to elevate my beer game a little bit. Well, friend, wherever you're at, they probably have some Carbach either on tap or in cans. So when you're out and about doing your thing, go ahead and make sure to ask your bartender to please make it a Carbach.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio where I've practiced for more than 30 years. And San Antonio has really grown since I started practicing law. The risk of injury in a car crash today is greater than it's ever been, because every day we're forced to share our roads with 80,000-pound 18-wheelers and some truly dangerous drivers. If you or a family member is injured in a car crash, know this: the insurance companies are mobilized against you. They have highly trained adjusters and a long roster of attorneys with one job: pay as little as possible. Their techniques are extensive, and I believe you have zero chance of obtaining a fair recovery on your own. If you're involved in a car crash, you need to hire an attorney as soon as possible after the collision and before you speak to the insurance company's adjusters. Now, I do not have a comic book nickname. I do not call myself the Law Eagle, the Tiger Lawyer, the Law Chupacabra. I think the practice of law needs to be taken more seriously. If you've been injured, call me, Jason Thompson, for a free consultation. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com.
Have you been thinking about starting TRT? The time is now. You can visit any Synergenics or Low T Center and get your consultation and test free. Don't let Low T slow you down this summer. Get the energy you need at Low T Center and Synergenics. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn any moment into something sweeter. There are endless options to choose from to show her she's the best. Hurry! Save 20 to 40% on select apparel, jewelry, chocolates, and more this Mother's Day only at Target. Restrictions apply.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you head into your commute, definitely slowing down. 1604 eastbound Calabria to I-10. It's a 20-minute ride. About 15 minutes on 90 eastbound 211 to Hunt Lane. Sluggish 35 southbound FM 1518 to Tupperwine, and on 410 eastbound 151 to Banter Road. Also rolling a bit slowly. Now, if you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line. We'll check it out at number 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA playoffs continued last night with quite a thriller to open the evening. Indiana beat Cleveland 120-119. Tyrese Halliburton with a three with 3 seconds to go to win it. The Golden State Warriors took down the Minnesota Timberwolves 99-88 without Steph Curry in the second half, who's dealing with a hamstring injury. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
8:01 on the Morning Huddle. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Leaves the Cowboys depth chart now looking like CeeDee Lamb. Well, God, it still might be a Jalen out there.
Oh, we'll have at least one Jalen.
Yeah.
You have to. It's the quotient. It's a rule.
Unless maybe
it's going
to be CD, Pickens, and maybe either Jalen or Johnny Mingo, depending on which one of them wins out the job. And then you've got your offensive line that's looking like Guyton, Smith, Beebe, Booker, Steele, I guess, is the plan for now.
I still feel like there's work to be done. There's going to be one or two guys still show up.
Okay. And then you've got Jake Ferguson / Luke Schoonmaker, Dak, and presumably Javonte Williams is probably getting the first crack at this thing. Miles Sanders / Jadon Blue. I don't know, but
I'd be interested to see. It feels like committee to me, but
it does feel. But it does feel like a committee. But it feels like there's got to be at least one of these guys who's good out of this group.
I hope. I mean, certainly Blue has all the potential in the world, and we know what Miles is capable of.
So does Phil Maffa, the guy that they got in round 7, the guy was a baller at Clemson for a while. So there's some options there. But yeah, it's a decent, and that'll be their 11 personnel, which is what they run most of the time anyway. But I would guess I would guess Pickens becomes the de facto number 2 and will get a heavy workload right away. So, because you got to see if you want to pay the guy. You know,
we know he's certainly capable and will be in the NFL next year, but he's going to have to do a few things. And Kevontae Turpin's already on the roster, right? So he's there for sure. I'm looking at this depth chart from our lads. Ryan Flournoy, Seth Williams, Paris Campbell, rookie.
So we're seeing
Jalen Cropper's the other Jalen.
Dallas also receives a 6th round pick, and they are giving up a 3rd and a 5th.
Oh,
so
they're giving up a 5th as well.
Well, trading a 5th for a 6th.
Yeah.
So, and again, final season of his contract, because he wasn't a 1st round pick. So they will have to decide if they want to keep him around or not. I do think it's interesting from the Steelers' standpoint. I get that they brought in DK Metcalf, and I thought that was a wise move, but I just assumed they were – because they were a one-man – I mean, Pickens was the only respectable wide receiver they had on their roster last year. So I thought they were trying to at least get a second guy, maybe to even try to lure a quarterback, or if you do go with, let's face it, a weak option at quarterback, you want to give them as much chance to succeed as possible. But the Steelers, who they've never, ever been a team to punt on a season.
No.
It does kind of feel like.
Oh, Aaron's going to show up in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
He's going to show up. It's getting. In fact, the moment it gets really, really quiet is the day that they'll sign him.
Yeah, you're probably
You know
right.
what I mean? I think that this was a move that you make expecting Aaron to show up.
Josh says, I wonder if they still go after Amari Cooper. I think he'd be an awesome wide receiver 3 that can step into a starting role when an injury occurs. I got to tell you, as someone who had Amari Cooper on the team that I watch last year, Amari Cooper isn't an NFL player anymore.
Yeah, he's a deep fantasy football wide receiver 5.
Yeah, Amari Cooper, if he is your 5th best wide receiver,
that's not bad. I wouldn't be upset now if they wouldn't sign Cooper today. Now we're talking about the right place to be.
Don't pay him any money though.
No,
it's a waste.
It's the least I can pay you.
The Bills couldn't put him on the field last year. There was times when it was like, where is this guy? And then he was over on the sideline, healthy. They just didn't want him on the field. He's lost that much.
And I will say this: I'd rather have a rookie on the roster than him.
I agree.
I'd rather see some ceiling
because there's no further upside for Amari Cooper. He's not going to go back to what he was, unfortunately. A good long run. It's come to an end.
Do you think that when I see the Cowboys do the smart, well, not the smart, just the thing that most NFL teams do? Not like last year where you say you're going to do something and do absolutely nothing. When I see the Cowboys make an intelligent, I wouldn't say it's bold, but it's an intelligent move. You didn't give up too much, and you got a guy with some talent. You wonder where Jerry is. Is he doing this for himself? Is he doing this to prepare for Micah? Is he doing this to help his coach? I mean, I wonder where his motivation sits today, because while he's helped his offense, the big question still needs to be answered, and it appears to me that if the answer is yes on Pickens, there's less money for Micah.
I think it's trying to – I think last year he paid Dak more money than any player in the NFL has ever been paid, and his return was not good. And granted, Dak got hurt. But let's not pretend like before Dak got hurt that things were going well for Dak.
And keep in mind that move was after an offseason of nothing. I mean, He didn't do anything till an hour before kickoff. So at least when he does, and this isn't the bare minimum. This is more than that. This isn't picking up a cast-off free agent. You're moving equity. When he does that, I don't want to give him too much credit. But on the other side of this, it's nice to have an owner that's just doing the average. This is what NFL teams do in the offseason. They don't overspend. They appropriately send picks. They plan for the future. I wonder where the motivation has come from, or who's behind the decision, because this is Jerry promising that he was going to do this and following up on it. He told us before the draft, hey, there's things happening.
This, and they're talking about this on ESPN right now, that this is the worst roster that Mike Tomlin's had with the Steelers, which it probably is. Like, Jaylen Warren is your starting running back. Who knows what the situation is at quarterback? It is a pretty bare cupboard there.
Yeah, but that defense is stacked.
But remember, Mike Tomlin, I'm guessing, I'm just saying, I haven't read this anywhere. Based on what I read last year, though, I don't think Mike Tomlin was banging the table to keep George Pickens.
Oh, no.
Like, George Pickens' act was up in Pittsburgh, and Mike Tomlin knew that they would be a worse team for not having him there and didn't care. Like, they would be, I shouldn't say worse, they would be a less talented team for not having him there. But he thought it would be better for the team long term if they did not have him there. But again, I also look at it and go, dude, you've got Mason Rudolph as your QB1 right now. Like,
at that point,
are you doing
season,
anything this year anyway?
If they go into the season with Mason Rudolph at quarterback,
they are punting.
Oh, they're beyond punting. They're tanking right now. Like, we are going to lose all 17 games, kind of tanking.
It could be that. I don't know they can do that because like you said, they are pretty solid on one side of the ball. But yeah, that's one of the worst skill position groups you'll find. Mason Rudolph, Jaylen Warren, DK Metcalf is good, but the cupboard's pretty bare besides him. Calvin Austin and Robert Woods, like we mentioned. Scotty Miller's there. I mean, that's it's a big deal. Big deal.
They took him second round in the 2022 draft behind Pickett in the first round. And then is DeMarvin Leal still on the Steelers roster? I don't think so.
I think he is. I just think he doesn't play.
That 22 draft
was
not the best for them.
No. I think the reason why they drafted a pass rusher in round one this year is because DeMarvin Leal sucks.
Whatever happened to Chase Claypool?
He is another receiver that the Steelers drafted and moved somewhere else. I want to say he plays for the Bears now.
Is he with the Bears?
I think so.
He had a good year. He looked like he had potential. Whatever happened to Deontay Johnson? They took him in the 2019 draft in the third round.
Like you said, they are great at drafting these guys and then moving them.
Yeah.
But he's in Baltimore now. He was like a big, and that was a big deal that he went to their rival. But yeah, Deontay Johnson's gone. Again, they are good at drafting him. Maybe he's with Cleveland now. Maybe he was with the Ravens last year. I think maybe he signed with Cleveland this offseason. Don't hold me to that, but I do think he's not on the Ravens anymore.
They've got an eye for talent. They see the wide receiver.
They find him, and then they last a couple of years, and they go, man, this guy's a pain in the ass. He's gone. Antonio Brown, whatever you think about him off the field or on Twitter or as a person, Antonio Brown statistically is one of the 5 to 10 best wide receivers who's ever played the game of football.
Think about I needed no proof of that, though I believe it. The way Tom Brady sacrificed everything to get him on the field. I mean, I'll do anything to put up with all that to get you on the field to go get a ring.
Yes. And Tom Brady didn't have to do that.
No, and he'd never done that for – I mean, you thought after he got burned in New England taking care of Aaron –
I mean, well,
you know what I mean? Like, I'm not dealing with crazy people anymore, but
yeah,
he sees the value of a ring and the guy that can do it. So, yeah, no doubt. And that's another Steeler find.
Yep.
And I guess after Antonio Brown, a little crazy didn't feel crazy at all.
No,
so they could put up with a lot.
George Pickens now suddenly feels like a nun compared to Antonio Brown, but it was still enough that Mike Tomlin was like, dude, I got to get out of this. I got to get out of this, man. All right. I want to give away some tickets to, you know what? I'll do this. Cannibal Corpse.
You have to do it in Norwegian.
No, they're American, I believe.
They just pretend to be Norwegian.
Yep, it's the North American 2025 tour. October 9th at the Aztec. Tickets are on sale Friday at noon, but we've got them for you right now. You can get tickets before you can buy them. Win them before you can buy them right here on 94.1. The Cannibal Corpse North American Tour hitting the Aztec Theater on October 9th. Let's go caller number 3. You're going to win them before you can buy them. And if you don't win them, you're going to have to wait till Friday at noon. Check them out at livenation.com. We'll be back. It's The Huddle right here on 94.1.
I guess I should talk about Connecticut. What do you say?
Sorry, you didn't hit
that's my bad.
You didn't hit your post.
I did not hit my post. Connecticut water softener sitting in my house right now. You know what? My Connecticut water softener, as we speak right now, is doing absolutely nothing. In fact, it doesn't do anything until I turn on my faucet. See, it doesn't plug in. It doesn't have a motherboard to break. It just works, and it works on a way that saves you salt, it saves you effort, it saves you time, and it saves you all kinds of problems with your pipes. That's why I have a Connecticut. It only works when I want it to work. And I want it to work right all the time. I have had a Connecticut since, well, all I can remember. I'm 3 houses in now. Always had a Connecticut. I grew up with one in my house. Connecticut's been taking care of San Antonians for as long as I know. And they need to take care of you. If you don't have a Connecticut water softener, now's the time. I know we all aspire to get the very best. It's very hard sometimes to afford that. Not with a Connecticut. Right now, you can call 656-PURE. They're going to come out to your home and just put a Connecticut into your home free of charge for the next 90 days. No commitment. They want to prove what I'm telling you, that it's the best you can get. And once you decide to buy, and I do think you will, all kinds of deals. There's money in your old water softener. With approved credit, there's zero down financing. You've also got money in your water softener. They'll pay you for it. And best thing, there's a gift, a reverse osmosis drinking station. This is the thing to have. It's exactly why you go get a water softener, because you got ready access to the purest, best water right at your sink all the time. They got the decor to match what you've got. I had to pay for this. You're going to get it free. You need more details? Go to ConnecticutSA.com. But listen to me. This is the time to get the very best. Call Connecticut today. Get the very best in your home, and I'm sure you'll come on by and thank me later.
Progressive knows there are two things RV owners love: to travel and relax. And they like to take both nice and slow. Just like this commercial. And what's more relaxing than the peace of mind knowing their RV is protected by Progressive? Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Gentlemen, testosterone levels can start dropping in your 30s, leading to low energy, reduced libido, and slower metabolism. Rock's Discount Vitamins is making it easy to take back control. No appointments and no prescriptions. Just head into a Rock's and walk out with a natural solution tailored to you. Our powerful line of natural testosterone boosters can help increase energy, build muscle, rev up your metabolism, and reignite your drive. You'll feel the difference and fast. Visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God in South Texas.
At Napa, we are the pros that know AC services inside and out. From professional-grade replacement parts to complete system solutions, Napa has what your business needs to keep your customers cool mile after mile. Need AC repair kits and refrigerant? How about compressors and condensers? Name the part, Napa has you covered coast to coast, behind a nationwide network built to keep your business ahead of the curve. Find your AC parts right now at Napa.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website at lawyerforus.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we're going to react to the 2 playoff games from last night.
Plus, we expect to hear from Coach Wade Phillips in our Brahmas Roundup at 4:35.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on The Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Which irritates.
What happens if, and I know we're getting maybe a little ahead of ourselves here, but what happens if this year's Cowboys offense is the same as last year's?
Well, there's one common denominator amongst all of this, and it's the quarterback.
Well, and yeah, I guess so, because this head coach wasn't calling the plays last year.
No, he built the offense, though, did not call the plays, so we've been told.
Right, which I highly doubt. You're right. Maybe I should take their word for it.
Yeah,
but
I don't know, but there's some dynamic of which he did play a role, though he wasn't doing the day-to-day.
Do we really think that they had Mike McCarthy? Mike McCarthy was like, you come up with some plays, I'll pick which ones I like the most. Like, I can't imagine. Like, Mike McCarthy is like a known as an offensive genius.
Yeah.
Like, I think he would probably want to roll with the stuff that he's kind of tried and true with. You know?
That's why I don't expect to see the same offense. I do expect to see some variation, and I do expect it to be a little bit less downfield and a little bit more ball control. Schottenheimer, 15 yards and in, matriculate the ball, protect your defense, and win the game 28-14.
I fully expect it to look different. I'm saying, what happens if the results are similar? Do you start to panic about Dak?
Yes, but, the good news is, whether you're panicked about him or not, they already have the date circled on their annual calendar, the day that he's going to be available to move, the day that salary cap hit gets to an amenable amount. He's gone, or at least going to be shopped. So there's already an expiration date on this quarterback. But I don't know how bad it would have to get for Jerry to have to make a move. He just doesn't do that. It would have to be...
there's no move to be made.
0-8, no offense, people upset, kind of earth-shattering stuff for Schottenheimer to get fired. I
agree.
But on the other side of this, he's getting a lot. I mean, the money's being spent on his side of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten 2 free agent running backs. They drafted a running back. They've traded for 2 wide receivers over the last year. Now, one specifically now. So the offensive side and Schotty that's where the focus has been so far.
Also, your number 1 draft pick went to the offensive line.
So it is he's getting every tool, which can be the reason he gets fired when Jerry does, if it does go south. Well, Jerry can tell him, look, man, I did everything you asked, and it didn't work.
Yeah, I think you're already seeing some buyer's remorse on Dak.
Oh, yeah.
And if this season is not we're back on it, at least on that side of the ball. If we're not back in the mix on that side of the ball, it's going to be an awkward situation. Because we said last year, I mean, this Micah Parsons, what he's able to do, and the reason why I value guys like Micah Parsons so greatly is he covers up a lot of flaws on your defense. This is not a very good defense in general.
They're a ball-hugging
and quite frankly, probably got worse this offseason.
Oh, they did.
They lost guys, and it's I'm not trying to say like the guys that they lost are irreplaceable.
But you lose D-Law, it matters.
It does. And like you can say whatever you want to say about D-Law, he's overrated. Fine. He was a big piece of this defense that already wasn't all that great. They're less talented, and now your linchpin of that side of the ball is waiting on a contract. I will give him credit. He's been a very good soldier about all of this. Maybe about
he will be till he's not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He'll be a good soldier till he's not, and then he will be the abrasive.
At this point, don't you like?
No, I'm proud of him.
Who do you blame?
Well, it's on Jerry.
If he's been a good soldier for this long and they still haven't done it, it's kind of on the Cowboys.
I'm still not dead set that he's going to be here. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in play here. Now, I'm more like to believe that he is than I'm not, but I still think that there's a possibility, a chance that Jerry's holding out, that somebody come and Godfather offers and goes, you know what, I'm going to make the deal. I'll do it. But until then, when you bring in a guy like Pickens, who you know you're going to have to pay if you're going to keep him, because he will have earned it, that's less money in the pot. I think that if I'm Diggs right now, I'm a little worried about my future as a Dallas Cowboy. The defensive side of the ball is in such flux. And I think that the way it appears, Jerry's expecting this offense not to be the Schottenheimer protect the ball and defense and don't worry if the ball ends with if a drive ends with a punt. Just don't make a mistake and don't put your defense in a bad spot because they are undermanned. I thought that would be the plan. This feels like Schotty's going to go out and score 35. We'll just outscore you.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is the way the Cowboys should go.
The CBS did a story, one reason for optimism for all 32 teams after the 2025 draft and free agency. The one for the Cowboys is Dak Prescott returning to full health. That is kind of the nightmare scenario, is if Dak gets hurt again, because you still don't really know.
All is lost.
You don't really know what Dak is, and I mean, I guess that's the nightmare scenario for every NFL franchise, is that your starting quarterback gets hurt.
The problem is, despite a lot of the problems the Cowboys have had, Cooper Rush was a bit of a safety blanket that most teams didn't have. So we didn't just call it when Dak went down the second time, because we knew the first time, hey, it wasn't that bad. So, yeah, it could be remarkably worse. Even though the offense is more talented, one rolled ankle for Dak. You trust Will Grier?
No. And Joe Milton looks like he's got some, potential, but Joe Milton is a lottery ticket in the same way Trey Lance was. And if you feel great about that, I don't know what to tell you.
If he plays at all this year, if he's thrust into service, we'll have to look back to how they handled Dak way back when they weren't even sure Dak could take a snap under center because he had never done it at Mississippi State. That's about where Milton is right now. It worked. I mean, they went 13-3 going bland, vanilla stuff, but the reason it worked is they had Dez on one edge and they had Zeke behind him.
Yeah, and that was at a time when Zeke was –
he was a stud.
It was still a thing.
Top 3 running back in the league.
Yeah, that was still a thing back then.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll talk to Dr. Jason Garrett from Arosty. We'll see what's going on in the world of injuries, both in the NBA and elsewhere. And yeah, we'll continue to talk Cowboys. We'll continue to talk hoops. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a couple of new trouble spots. 37 southbound Carolina Street downtown. This wreck has got 2 right lanes blocked. Has you slow from Houston Street, so tack on at least an extra 20 minutes for your commute. And 1604 westbound Bulverde Road, far northeast side of town. This accident causing a 10-minute delay has you slow from Judson Road. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Staples Stores. Your local Staples has hot deals and super low prices throughout the store on everything for your business. And right now at Staples, save up to $250 off your print order. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details. Ends June 14th. Plus, save even more with the Easy Rewards program at Staples.
You know the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we're going to react to the 2 playoff games from last night.
Plus, we expect to hear from Coach Wade Phillips in our Brahmas Roundup at 4:35.
The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Yeah, the manager's on the phone. He's making the call.
Yeah.
Here he comes. I was going to say 6'2".
Oh, yeah.
Number 5 in your playbook, but number 1 in your heart. His name is Jason Garrett, and he is with Arasti, and he's with us. It's the Morning Huddle. Dr. Garrett, get off that golf cart. Welcome aboard, sir.
Thanks. Appreciate it, guys.
Strange morning around here, Doc. As the NBA playoffs get kicking, we're starting to deal with injuries. Last we saw, LeBron was limping away, and we see he has been diagnosed with a grade 2 MCL sprain? Grade 2 MCL sprain on his left knee, according to Dave McMenamin. His recovery timeline is 3 to 5 weeks, and had there been a Game 6 versus the Timberwolves, he would not have been available. You're that old. You're dealing with an MCL sprain. What's the prognosis and what's the rehab process for LeBron?
Well, the good news is he's not on a short timetable, so this is an easy one to recover from. It's got good blood supply, so it'll actually heal pretty much on its own. So all you want to do is keep the surrounding structure strong, so the quad, the hamstring, the adductors, the groin muscles, keep all those functioning really well. It's going to heal, in probably 3 to 5 weeks. If he was really aggressive, he could probably come back in 2 weeks with a brace on and have really no restrictions. But since he's not in a time crunch and there's no risk of re-injuring it or no need to re-injure it, he'll just rest, do the rehab, and he'll be completely recovered by.
So no long-term ramifications that will play no role in availability next year. It's just it's an end of the season. Just rest it, and you'll be back.
Yeah, these are one of those things that heal pretty well. As long as there was no cartilage damage, no meniscus, no ACL problems, and yeah, it heals really well on its own.
Doc, Steph Curry last night leaves with a hamstring injury. He's going to have an MRI. They're saying he's day-to-day right now, but the fact that he's already having to have an MRI means I would guess he's likely to miss game 2. What's the best-case scenario, you think, when a guy injures his hamstring like Steph did?
So we've seen guys like that have injured their hamstrings and come back the next game and really with no issues. But we've also seen where that, like, he was able to walk, he was still able to run. Anybody that's ever really pulled a hamstring, it's like someone shoots you with a shotgun in the back of the hamstring. You're in severe agony. You're not walking. You're on crutches. So he's better than that, which actually makes it a little gray, because now if he goes out and plays too soon, there's a really good chance he'll end up on the ground like he got shot with a shotgun. So it is one of those things that's so hard to predict when you can play with a pulled hamstring, because it'll feel pretty good. It'll have full strength, but you won't really know until you take that first hard movement, the unpredictable cutting and running.
If you are a gambling man and you saw what he did, what's the likelihood of return to health? It looked like that's one of those things that is going to bother him for at least the next week.
I would say if I was a gambling man, I would say he's going to play game 3, and then you're just going to keep your fingers crossed it doesn't unravel on him, because he's a quick mover. He's getting pretty old. You're in your late 30s. That's not great for basketball speed and youthfulness. So there's a good chance this could get a lot worse if he comes back too fast.
Right.
Let's talk about these Cavs injuries. You see Evan Mobley's got an ankle injury, not a high ankle sprain, but an ankle injury. He misses the game last night. Darius Garland misses another game with a sprained toe, and DeAndre Hunter with a sprained wrist. It felt, I had high expectations that Garland would be back last night. He wasn't. Explain that the sprained toe, and first of all, because it doesn't sound like something that would keep you out for weeks on end, but it seems like that is the case for Darius Garland. And sprained wrists and a normal sprained ankle, but on a 7-foot-something man. What's the expectation for these guys, and can the Cavs get back to full health by the time this series ends?
So obviously, I don't know the severity of any of these injuries, but most guys can come back with some tape on their ankle. It's not a severe ankle sprain, definitely not a high ankle sprain. And it's the playoffs. You can play through that. I mean, there's countless stories of guys severely spraining their ankle, coming back that day, playing the next game, playing well. That's something I'm not worried about. The wrist sprain, as long as there's no tear or fracture, again, that's something you can tape up, you can play through. That's more pain modulation. The big toe, ironically, the smallest of all the joints, is the one that is the hardest to return from. Because there's so many pain sensors in your big toe, like we talked about turf toe last week. Mm-hmm. It shuts you down completely. You can't push off. It's like someone taking a hammer and smashing your toe. It makes you basically worthless on the basketball court unless you can somehow numb it up. But then when you do that, you risk turning it into a turf toe and then having a serious issue later on.
So why is there so much optimism that they think from day to day that he'll be better from one day to the next? And what is it? Is it just a pain tolerance thing? Like, if you can stand it, you can play.
Yeah, it's purely pain. Big toes are like that. They'll suddenly they'll hurt like crazy. Like, I didn't do anything. I don't know why I can't walk. And then 6 hours later, like, yeah, it feels fine. I just warmed up and it was good to go. So it literally is day to day. They don't really know until they get him out, get him running and cutting, get him push off it, and see if it holds up.
Yordan Alvarez, the Astros DH, heads to the IL with hand inflammation. I'm guessing it's not like he shut his hand in the car door or something. Like when you hear hand inflammation, did he? I don't know. Did you drink too much beer one day? Like what would cause that? And is there something long term that could cause that, or like what could that possibly mean? Hand inflammation.
Your guess is as good as mine. It could be a number of things. More than likely, it's the minimum information they had to give because he's on the IR, which means more information will probably come out as if it is something actually physical and not a punishment for something or for poor performance. I'm not sure how he's performing, but hand inflammation is the most worthless diagnosis ever.
Yeah, I just picture him with one hand with a soccer goalie glove and a little doll hand in the other. This guy can't play. He'll lose his ball in his hand. Let's stick with the dumb baseball injuries. with the New York Yankees, Giancarlo Stanton is on the 60-day IL with tendonitis, and not one, but both elbows. He's doing something wrong. What exactly are you doing to get tendonitis in your non-throwing elbow?
Well, I'm not going to make any accusations, but usually you see that with PEDs, with guys that are massive and strong. And, in baseball, that might have happened from time to time. There's lots of ways there's always new stuff coming out they don't test for. And the tests are like 7 years behind. So I'm not making that accusation, but a lot of times when you see chronic tendinopathies in the elbows, it's guys that have gotten too strong, too fast, and their body is saying, hey, we can't handle this much load.
Ah, interesting.
I don't know how familiar you are with what happened in UFC this weekend, but there was a knee bar situation, and a guy leaned back on it. His knee pops kind of the wrong way, almost a forward pop, folding the way that your leg's not supposed to fold. What parts of the knee can be damaged there? Because obviously he ends up tapping immediately after that. He knows his knee's damaged, but what kind of parts of the legs are involved with that hyperextension?
Yeah, so usually the most pain is the bone bruise because the bones are meant to articulate the other direction. So when they go that way, the bones just jam together, and then they pinch some of the ligaments, the cartilage in there. But also, usually when you hyperextend it like that, you're going to have some hamstring tendon and some gastroc or your calf muscle tendons that cross over the back of the knee joint, and they get under too much strain, maybe some partial tearing. That stuff's going to heal well. It's more the bone bruise that's just extremely painful, assuming he didn't tear anything, which he totally could have torn some ligaments inside the knee.
What's the most likely ligament you would tear on a hyperextension?
Your PCL is pretty common, so it's the opposite of the ACL tear. The meniscus is not a ligament, but you can jam it and twist it and tear the meniscus pretty easily. Not really an ACL or an LCL thing because those things are lateral movement. They don't really just hyperextend, so they stay pretty neutral. It could be a number of things. There's a lot of muscles and nerves and arteries back there too.
All right, that is Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. Dr. Garrett, we appreciate the time as always. We'll talk to you next week, man.
Take care, Doc.
Thanks, guys.
Dr. Garrett and all our guests appear via the Buyers Barricade guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. Do you think if we'd asked Dr. Garrett about Kitty Big Ball's leg dragging behind him that he would have had some answers, or do you think he would have to see him in person?
The thing is about
diagnose.
It's non-invasive, so we're basically working above the skin level.
Okay.
This is a wound.
Okay. Well, damn. Well,
he might help with the rehab.
Okay. Well, maybe he can. Maybe he can. I went and took old Big Balls some water. For those of you who missed the start of the show, we are having to call. What do we call? What's the
311?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're calling animal control to come pick him up because he is in rough shape today. He got beat up by something last night. I blame the coyote, that damn wily coyote.
Or the fox. There's a fox.
We've seen
fox
fox
too.
around here too.
Yeah.
But either way, he's now got a busted leg and some big chunks of his legs bitten off of him and a big chunk of his tail bitten off of him. So he's in rough shape. We got him in a safe spot right now, trying to nurse him back. Unfortunately, I couldn't drop him off last week. It was not one of the days that they allowed drop off for him to get fixed, because I was planning on getting him fixed and kind of adopting him. Right. So now we're gonna have animal service come pick him up, and I'm gonna stick around today and let him know, like, hey, if he's savable, if he's salvageable, I will take him. But there is a good chance that this is Kitty Big Ball's last day, which is it's a sad time.
Well, you made his life better. Improved his lot in life for a minute. You did.
Maybe.
No, he had a thing.
He ate a lot more wet cat food than he would have eaten otherwise had we not met him. So I guess that is the positive to it. Let's do this. Citizen Soldier, the Heart Support Tour. Special guest, 10 Years in Adelita's Way. They're all playing August 28th at the Aztec Theater. Is this Citizen Soldier?
All their music is like this. All slow tempo, ballad type.
No, you don't. This song is about Kitty Big Balls, I think.
Oh, my goodness.
This is about our kitty.
Oh,
it's bringing a tear to my eye, Rob. That's right. You made it through your darkest days, Kitty.
This is called Christian breath singing.
Is this
This has the look and feel of a Christian pop.
It does kind of give that feel. That's what I was thinking, but I don't know. Maybe.
Well, the Christian singers all breath sing.
Well,
oh, she's still. That's the Christian singers. They all breathe sing.
Okay.
Hear it? You have to do that to be able to sing Christian rock. Breathe and sing at the same time. Yeah. See?
I'm going to see
my acoustic.
Is Citizen Soldier.
He's got the flesh-colored microphone.
Yeah.
The Garth Brooks mic.
Yeah, the Garth Brooks.
And he's breath singing.
But they were formed in a psychiatric hospital.
Yeah.
It is a Christian rock band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it, yeah.
All right. Well, if you want to go see them, they're playing Wednesday, August 28th at the Aztec. That's the day after my birthday.
That's going to be a good day.
That
You're going to be really hungover.
I'll be 45 years old that day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? Old balls and loose skin. Gross.
Yeah, man, it only gets worse.
That's right.
This is the best you're ever going to look right now.
Right now is it.
It's
This
tomorrow.
is it. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's
You're
go.
walking around with a fishing shirt and a scowl.
Let's go. Caller number 3 for the Holy Trinity. You will win tickets to Citizen Soldier, the Heart Support Tour at the Aztec Theater Wednesday, August 28th. Alexandra, thank you. She says, sorry, poor kitty big balls.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a good boy.
I'm broken up today.
Well, he's not gone yet, but he's a good boy.
He is my buddy, and I am. If I can save him, I'm going to save him. I just the unfortunate thing is timing hasn't worked out for me. Like on a day where I could take him, I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to find him.
AJ, we can't save them all. You can only do what you can do.
I only wanted to save him. Those other cats that are running around here, I don't really care about
you got
them.
a cat sitting at home. You've already taken one cat to foster care that's living a good life. You're doing good deeds. You just can't save them all.
You're right, but I want to.
See, I'm leathery and jaded.
I like to be the kind of human that cats, when they talk to other cats, talk about me as like.
I want them to say, "Stay away from that dude."
I want to be like, oh, that dude has helped out a bunch of cats in the past. Maybe he'll help me get my life together.
He doesn't hate us. He just doesn't like us.
Well, you're not a nice fellow.
I'm not to cats.
You're not a.
Kitty Big Balls is.
You've been pretty nice to him.
I've done my best, but I'm jaded.
Fair enough.
I've been hurt too many times, AJ.
Did you miss all the Kenny Pickens trade talk?
Did Kenny miss all of the?
I think it's George Pickens. We've talked a lot about George Pickens today.
Who is Kenny Pickens?
Kenny Pickens is a cross between George Pickens and Kenny Pickett.
Ah, see, that's the tandem that could have been.
That could have been.
Won't happen now.
It could have been.
Like Benifer.
Yeah, very much like that. Shout out to Kayleen Wolf. It's her birthday. Happy 15th, Kayleen.
Well, happy birthday to you.
She loves us, guys. Oh, well, we love Kayleen also.
Kayleen, you're going to have to raise your bar.
I got to be honest, Jagular. This isn't a show for young children. This isn't a show for kids.
It's for those that are informed and intelligent, that are discerning, that can separate fact from fiction, that can understand fun from frivolity.
Yes.
And if you can do that, we are the perfect morning. I think we elevate sometimes.
Okay. I mean, sometimes we talk about inappropriate things, and I worry.
Sometimes you got to earmuff it, but
I just like to pretend
this is a big world.
I like to pretend that kids are never listening when I do a radio show.
My kids don't listen to me at home. Why should they listen to me on the radio?
Because then I can talk about how Chaz Bono developed her thing. Yeah, her. I don't even know what you call it anymore.
Well, phallus.
Yeah.
Phallus.
Yep.
Look it up.
I wanted to hit a little bit of these odds on the Spurs.
The lottery's Monday.
Yeah, we're coming up on it. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Monday, the pivot point for the next 5 years of the Spurs.
The odds right now for the Spurs to get the number 1 pick in the draft are 6%.
You're saying there's a chance.
You're right. It's not a good number.
No, but there is a number.
It's a number. And you know what? It can happen. It's not likely, but it can happen.
And the good news is it doesn't have to happen.
No. Now, this is the number that's actually intriguing, though. There's a 26.3% chance that the Spurs land in the top 4 of the lottery. Now, that's a real number.
Boy, if that happens. And the choices that will be available will be difficult. They could go two ways and not make a mistake, quite frankly. It's just, which way do you think they should go? Because I think it's going to be 50-50. I think there's 50% of the guys out there, we want shooting, we need shooting, and if we don't get shooting, we're never going to win. And then there's the other 50% that says we need a big man, a goon, a rebounder, a dude that doesn't expect much but a paycheck and a start, and everything else he has to go earn. We need that.
I'm both of those people.
Yes.
I want both of those things, and I know you can't get both of them, but you will be able to get one of them. Well, I guess technically you could get both because the Hawks aren't in the playoffs, right?
And the sad thing, okay, so what happens, and this is, if they end up in the top 4, 2 of the top 4 dudes are guards. I mean,
that's where the problem comes.
Both of them, one more than the other. But Wagner, you don't pass on him. You don't let you go, I'll make it work. You don't pass on a talent like DJ Wagner. You pass on Ace Bailey. There's enough questions where you go, yeah, I'll let somebody else take it.
You're talking about Dylan Harper.
Dylan Harper, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You don't pass on Dylan Harper. You pass on Ace Bailey because there's enough questions where you go, I'll let 4, 5, or 6 take those guys. But Dylan Harper, if you're sitting at 2, you have to take it. There's no tap dancing around. You either move the pick or you draft him.
I think you find I agree with that. But the awkward thing is you have, and Ace Bailey actually plays a position you can use. He's a wing.
But there's enough questions about him. I could pass on it.
I don't love Ace Bailey.
Yeah.
I've made it clear all along when everyone said that Ron Harper and Ace Bailey are like they're the top. They're the number 1 and 2 guys behind
Harper
Flag.
He would be the number 1 overall most every year, but for a Wemby or a Cooper Flag, he's that good. And
I agree.
It's a rich people problem. I would like to take it, but the fact is, if it did happen, I would move the pick.
I would take VJ Edgecombe over Ace Bailey, the Baylor kid.
Move down a pick or 2.
I would take Trey Johnson, the Texas kid, over Ace Bailey. I would take. I'd probably take Con Kneifel over Ace Bailey.
Over Ace Bailey, not Dylan Harper.
No. I mean, I love Dylan Harper. It says here, though, the most likely pick if the Spurs stay at number 8, which is if things go according to plan, that's where they would pick, is at 8. They'd have 8 and 14, right? Would be their 2 picks.
I like the idea.
The most likely pick would be Kasparas Yakashonis, it says here.
Illinois had a good year.
He is a guard, and he is 6'6". He's got some versatility.
If you want to stay young, what's the kid that came out of Kansas 2 years ago? Elmer, whatever his name is. He's a well-rounded but raw player. He's got a lot to do.
He is, he's very young, but he is a big body, and
Grady Dick. He reminds me of Grady Dick.
Yeah. The problem is right now, if you said, okay, who's our best 5 guys we can put on the floor, Steph Castle and De'Aaron Fox are already on the floor, and Wemby's going to be on the floor, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And you figure Harrison Barnes is by default unless they find somebody.
But also Harrison Barnes isn't here for the long term.
No.
So, but I'm thinking more like when this team reaches where they're going to reach, those 3 guys are going to be a part of it. Means like you need some front court,
yes,
and wing play, and Yakashonis is not those things, but he is a good shooter, and that is the part that appeals to me. And even if it means you've got depth off the, as a shooter, it's good to have those guys. They absolutely need that.
But that's the assuming. If it is Yakashonis, that's assuming Kneifel's gone. I guess.
I agree because that's a shooter who also would be playing a position of need for them. Even though if you look at Yakashonis and Kneifel, their builds are very similar. It's just the position they play is very different. Yakashonis, he's one of those Euros who grew up playing with the ball in his hands, and he is a ball handler, and he's a very good one.
There's more there, but Kneifel, the 2 things he does well, he's got a big body, so he rebounds well, but he is a better shooter, I think, than than Yakashovas. But Yakashovas got ball skills, can play three positions. He can play off the ball too. I like the pick. I would not be upset if that was at the end of the day we ended up with that and a big at 13. That would be A+ until I see him play. I'm happy with that idea.
The guy that they have at 14 to the Spurs is Liam McNeely, the wing from Connecticut, who, let's face it, he was on a bad team this year. And
there's questions.
And he got kind of like, this is he was an 18-year-old kid that they said, hey, you're our only good player. We need you to score all the points. And it was a lot to throw on his plate. I don't think he was that kind of a player, but I do think he is a legit shooter.
He's tough as nails too. I mean, you don't come out of that system without being tough. There's some lateral quickness concerns in my mind.
I think there's some defensive concerns.
But that's why he's going all the way down to 14. If they don't get a big, that tells me they're going to go spend some money on a big.
I tend to agree. And the big that is appealing to me is Hamon Malawach, the big from Duke, who is a lob threat. He doesn't want to play anywhere but the paint, and he is a very good defensive player. He's developing into a shot blocker, but he's like that rim runner big that – you know what I say? I say it all the time. I want big men who like to do big man things. I don't want a big man who thinks that he's Steph Curry. And it's fine to have one of those, but you also still need a big man who remembers that he's a big man.
And we already have one of those big men who thinks he's Steph Curry.
Yeah, we don't need more of that.
I'll say the thing about Malawach, and he's going to be good. He'll never be a superstar, but he's going to be good. At 8, it's too soon. At 14, it's too late. So if you're a GM, Bright's comfortable. You're a safe GM when you make that pick, because I do think he's probably not the 8th pick, but I don't think he's the 14th pick either. I think he's probably at about 10, 11, 12. So you run the risk of drafting him too soon or too late.
I think the thing is, though, if you want someone who is 6'10" or bigger, he's the only guy you can really even.
Asa Newell out of Georgia, I think has a chance. He's not nearly as strong. He's a little bit more of a rim runner than a defensive rim protector.
But I think he'll go in the second half of the first round.
Yeah, so that's too early for him. The kid from Maryland that we saw make a play, he's skilled but raw. I think that's too early for him, even at 14. So it's going to be one of those beauties in the eye of the beholder. I wouldn't be mad at 8, and I don't think if he made it to 14, it'd be a steal.
The other guy that, again, a guard, so you don't necessarily need him. But if around 14, Jace Richardson's sitting there.
Need shooters, baby.
Shooters. All right. We got 1 hour to go. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
Ahead of the field and throws it down with a right hand.
Your home for the NBA.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. A great alternative to a mobile phone for your kids. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning? RV wins! Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast? RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
You've decided to divorce. I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you're worried about getting the bills paid, childcare, and your divorce, we'll help make it simple, painless, and affordable.
Your future matters. Call the law office of Steve Benke.
Call 210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Progressive knows there are 2 things RV owners love: to travel and relax. And they like to take both nice and slow. Just like this commercial. And what's more relaxing than the peace of mind knowing their RV is protected by Progressive? Now here comes the fast part. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We do have a couple of new trouble spots. 37 southbound Carolina Street downtown. This wreck has got 2 right lanes blocked, has you slow from Houston Street, so tack on at least an extra 20 minutes to your commute. And 1604 westbound Bulverde Road, far northeast side of town. This accident causing a 10-minute delay has you slow from Judson Road. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The NBA playoffs continued last night with quite a thriller to open the evening. Indiana beat Cleveland 120-119. Tyrese Halliburton with a 3 with 3 seconds to go to win it. The Golden State Warriors took down the Minnesota Timberwolves 99-88 without Steph Curry in the second half, who's dealing with a hamstring injury. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center brought to you by Synergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowteam.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, gather around. It's the Morning Huddle. We're an hour, number 4, 9:01 on the clock.
There.
For those following along the Kitty Big Ball saga, we have some good news on the heels of what appeared to be very bad news as we went to break. We dialed 311, our city functioning number, and Animal Control just came and left the Radio Ranch. They took Big Balls with them with good news. They feel like that they might be able to save him. So he's rushed on Kitty EMS down to the emergency room where they're working on little tiny instruments.
Yeah. And
getting CBB back in business, we hope.
And Iris has renamed him?
You know, probably a more appropriate name for, nice folks.
We couldn't
Kitty big balls is probably not the best term to have, although, especially given what's about to happen to him, I think sum total, the name will no longer be applicable.
Right, but she still gave him a BB, so now he's Uncle Baby Billy.
Uncle Baby Billy, which is absolutely
Uncle Baby
perfect.
Billy.
I'll tell you, Iris hit it right out of the park.
She said, she's like, I called him Baby Billy because I've been watching Gemstones, and I was like, you know what? That is perfect.
At that moment, did you go, this is karma?
I said, that is perfect. That is perfect. Even though once they take away his big balls, he won't be able to do sex anymore.
I bet his hair goes white.
He won't.
His hair's going to go white just like Baby Billy.
I think it's great you could still do sex, Uncle Baby Billy.
You do sex?
You still do sex to that woman? Oh, that's funny. So there you go.
Good news.
That is. I feel a lot better about it now. I thought they were just going to look at him and go, "Oh, this dude's got to go."
The guy's got a 22 in a holster. Like, no, we're good.
No, but it was like,
He'll do it right there. He'll do it right there.
No, not here.
I thought it was gonna be some big, giant dude grab him by the scruff and throw him in a box and
or just open the truck door and just throw him in there.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh no, we'll take care of him." And
what you called what? What's your problem?
Like the dog catcher. Like, remember the cartoon Heathcliff?
Yes.
They were always trying to. That's what I picture.
Throw him in that little cage and carry on.
Yeah.
You called me. This is what you wanted, right?
I'm here to get rid of your cat.
What? Why is everybody mad? I'm just doing my job.
Got a big mouth full of chaw, spitting like, here you got a cat problem. I'm here to take care of it.
For long.
Yeah. So, Uncle Baby Billy is going to be taken care of. God bless the city of San Antonio for coming and snatching him up. And we told them
as well.
Yeah,
Fast.
very timely. Well, Vic called them right at 7, so we should have been first on the list. But
I think we were.
We did let them know that we will take them. We'll take Uncle Baby Billy back when he's ready to go, and I will. Vic's willing to give up his garage for a week or two, and once my house is cleared, then I am willing to take him out to my place, and give him a safe place to live.
You're gonna always have a meet cute story for Baby Billy.
Uncle Baby Billy ain't built for the streets. He is not. He's not very. He is. He's not. I think if you see his paws, he's got bobcat paws.
Yeah,
he's
they're
got
huge
paws, but his body is very, very tiny and not built to fight. So I think he's got bobcat paws and a bobcat mindset.
Mm-hmm. When his claws are razor.
Oh, his claws are crazy. Yeah. But he's got a very, 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 very weak body that is not built for his mindset. He's one of those dudes. He's like you know how they always say, yeah, I'm little, but you don't want to see what happens when I go crazy.
Oh, yeah, that's little man syndrome.
Yeah.
Those guys almost always get their ass kicked. Yeah. I think he's got that syndrome.
He's got the Napoleon syndrome.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, I'm tiny, but you don't want to see what happens when I get mad. Mm-hmm. Like suddenly you're gonna put on 60 pounds of muscle mass. No, you're
Come on, little man.
You're still gonna get beat up by a dog or a coyote the same way a normal cat would, even if you're really angry at him. But yeah, so he's off to a safe place for now, and we'll of course keep you guys updated and abreast.
We're starting a GoFundMe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Please send
Baby Billy's GoFundMe.
Uncle Baby Billy needs your donations.
Yeah.
Baby Billy would want his handlers to have a nice night out.
That's right.
Baby Billy would want us to throw dollar bills at scantily clad women.
That's right. Uncle Baby Billy knows that cocaine in free. What a great show! What a great show! You haven't got to watch the final episode yet.
I'm actually 2 episodes behind. I'll finish it completely up as soon as I can't get a break. I bet I got basketball from 6 to midnight every night.
You need an elimination. You need somebody to get knocked out of the playoffs and give you some time.
Cleveland's doing their best to help me out.
You might have it sooner than later. Yeah, we got a couple games tonight. The Knicks Celtics and the Nuggets Thunder. Is there any reason to feel? I mean, I keep thinking, well, these great teams that are down 1-0, they're in bounce back spots, and quite frankly, the Celtics and the Thunder both looked like they were going to dog stomp the Knicks and Nuggets in the first game, and they let them back into it.
You always wonder about the psychology of that because you did dominate for so much of the game. Both teams but for 4 minutes of gaffes and ineptitude, won a basketball game. And you wonder what the mentality is like. Do you question your motives, or you just look in the mirror and go, this was on me, and I can fix this? It wasn't them. It was us. But you combine that with this unprecedented road win series that we've seen. I really don't know what to expect. You'd think that Boston, the championship, would be able to turn things around quickly, but Jalen Brunson is such a wild card, I can't account for him. So that's just as easily done. And we saw what Oklahoma City did. They looked as good as they could, despite the fact their best guys didn't look that good.
Right.
But the other guys did, and it wasn't enough against another team with some championship feelings, man. They know how to do this. This is absolutely if the trend doesn't flip tonight, if we don't see 2 home wins tonight, we've gone off the charts. We've gone into the Bermuda Triangle. Something strange is afoot. Aliens are playing a role in this.
Well, I said it yesterday, and I'm going to say the same thing today, because I don't trust these teams anymore laying numbers, these teams that I perceived as the top-tier teams. But what I do project is they will at least come out strong. They'll come out pissed off. And I think Cleveland came out pissed off yesterday. Mm-hmm. And remember I said play the first half.
First halves.
And
I agree.
Easy money in the first half. Now today, both they're both 6.5-point favorites in the first half. They are 10.5-point favorites for the game. So like you might not think there's value, but I do think avoiding these late game meltdowns that seem to happen. And that's the other thing, man. In the regular season, lesser teams, when they're getting their ass kicked by 20, they say, well, we gotta get ready for another game tomorrow, so let's pack it in.
Right, and there is something to having been there and done that.
Nobody's packing it in the playoffs, man. Right. Nobody's gonna just say, well, they got us.
Well, the only team that did it was Golden State against Houston, where they were like, all right, and the basketball gods damn near got them because they had to go back to Houston to do it, but no,
it was the right move.
I was ready to laugh. Man, I was hoping they were going to fall and lose 2 straight like that. But they were served by savvy. This is unprecedented. It is. What we've seen, road wins, it's unprecedented for a lot of reasons. One of them is parity is so in play here. Not as long as I can remember. There's always been 2 teams at the top. It doesn't matter every year. There's 2 teams that are front and center ahead of everybody else. This year there were 3. But everybody behind, while there was a gap, that peloton, was so evenly matched from 8 to 4, 8 to 5, 8 to the 4 seed. It shouldn't be that surprising. But when you look at nothing but road teams winning in a playoff in any sport, it's unprecedented like this.
I will say this also about just talking about the Oklahoma City Nuggets game. I think Shea is going to win or lose this series. He is going to dominate. This is going to be.
Is it in him? Is it in him to look in the mirror and say, I'm going to succeed, and probably to the detriment of a teammate of mine? I'm going to take a shot because I am great. Because you're not, I am, I get the shot. Is it in him? Because part of the problem with greatness like his is he wants to bring everybody with him. And sometimes you're not bringing them with you, you're carrying them. And there's a difference.
Remember, that's often the knock people will put on LeBron.
Well, LeBron and Timmy was the same way.
LeBron he's too open to like giving his teammates the opportunities that he should be taking for himself in key moments.
And that's a wonderful, and it's the perfect attribute to have for about 90 basketball games a year. You know, 82 regular season and 8 playoff games. But the other ones, you need to be selfish, and you need to look at everybody on the bench and beside you and say, it is my turn. I'm taking you there. And that's what I'm waiting for.
Tonight, down 1-0 at home, you've already lost 1 home game. I expect that, and the other thing is that the Nuggets don't really have a guy to defend Shea.
No, they defend on chaos and ball control.
Yeah, so he's going to get his shots. He took 26 shots in game 1, and
that's a lot of shots. That's a lot of volume for him.
So I like his number set at 32.5. I think he clears that tonight. I think that, and if he doesn't clear it, then the Thunder lost anyway, and it's a nightmare scenario for them. But I think he is too good to let this team fall down 2-0. So I think Shea throws it on his back and takes it tonight.
There is the possibility that we could have Boston, Oklahoma City, and Cleveland all 0-2.
Yeah.
That just is unfathomable to me.
Yes. Well, and consider what that would mean in the grand scheme.
Oh, this is not a good day for the NBA.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they're looking at, we could actually have a series that involves the Pacers and Minnesota. I mean, it might be fun, but God.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the absolute nightmare, is having a 4-seed Nuggets, a 6-seed Timberwolves, a 4-seed Pacers, and a 3-seed Knicks.
I mean, there would be compelling storylines, but it doesn't feed the bulldog. You know, that's not the kind of thing that
there
ABC goes, no, we're carrying this live, national, over-the-air broadcast at 7 o'clock. No, we'll put that on TBS.
Oh, boy. Yeah. And obviously they want the best teams in, but, yeah, this is.
I hold out hope, and I do believe that 7
I'm
games
not gonna
the
let
best
one
teams
game.
win. Yeah, 7 games the best teams win. But look at what happened to Cleveland. They tripped, first of all, and then the basketball gods, they got hurt. That happens. But the trip is what got them. They could have come out 1-0 and been all, we're worried about our injuries, but at least we split. If Boston goes down to New York, they can beat the Knicks. I'm not worried. Boston can rip off 4 straight against the Knicks. They could be down 3-0, and I'd still give them a fighting chance. I don't know, given the way how well the Pacers are playing, that even if they got completely healthy, I'm not sure they can beat the Pacers right now.
This is the thing, though. The Cavs won 64 games this year. They swept their first-round series against the Heat.
It was easy. They didn't have to sweat.
So now they're up to 68 wins this season. Like, they lose 2 games in a row, and we're acting like the house is burning down.
Well, it is burning down. It is on fire. Let me tell you,
it's a very short sample size, and
you get 2 more opportunities, and this fire just ate you. I
get it.
Again, Cleveland has done everything that championship teams do. By the numbers, by the metrics, championship teams. Now, one of the things championship teams have to do is come through adversity, and they haven't had to deal with that yet. Now they got a bunch of it, and they're injured. And I don't know how badly. I mean, how bad is Mobley's ankle? I mean, that was a game at home that you were risking going down 0-2, and he wasn't good enough to play in that. I'd rather him played last night and sit down in Indiana. I mean, I'd rather have had you knowing full well at least I had that 1-0 or 1-1 split. They're in terrible circumstances.
They're certainly up against it, but I don't know that I can just let 2 games make me forget what this team was all year.
I'm with you, but the questions are so overwhelming right now that taking stock in what you're doing and then looking across the aisle, looking across the court and seeing that the Pacers have become everything you were afraid they were going to become.
Well, and remember, Pacers won 3 out of 4 in the regular season against Cleveland. Now they've won 5 out of 6 matchups this year. It may just be their kryptonite.
And that's the other thing. I didn't play into the regular season that they just know how to beat them. They just know what they're good at and can do it. And they're just flat out faster, and they make better ball decisions than Cleveland does right now on offense. They back cut you, they catch you ball watching, they find the open dude. It's a scary offense right now.
I'm still riding with them.
I'm with them too.
I'm a lot less confident than I was at the start of this series, though. I can tell you that. I thought it was going to be Cavs in 5. I mean, obviously it's not going to be that. No, the Cavs will. But this is the other thing. If the Cavs go to Indiana and win Game 3, I mean, don't you instantly feel like worlds better?
Well, yeah, but they're going to have to win Game 3 and have one of their 3 dudes start playing regular minutes with no fear of missing it. There's so many other things that got to work.
And honestly, I don't know what makes you feel worse if you're a Cavs backer. Game 1, where they just were never competitive?
No, it's Game 2.
Or Game 2, where they were dominant and then still found a way to lose.
Yeah, and not only just lose, to catastrophically collapse, to miss rebounds on free throws, and then to allow the shooter to not only get the rebound off of a free throw, but dribble through the entirety of your defense back out to the three-point line, and then shake off a defender who did manage to get close and then hit a fadeaway three to beat you. That is showing a beating heart to you as you collapse.
You know what Alexander brings up, and it's right. We got to remember they're from Cleveland. I mean, it is... it's easy to forget that, yeah, they're still from Cleveland. And, man, it's
a hard luck life, man. They're
cursed.
There's a reason why it was such a big deal when LeBron won a title there, because
that was
Cleveland.
You don't win in that town. It took literally one of the greatest athletes in the history of time deciding he wanted to come back and play for his hometown squad to get their only title in, like, memory.
And then he just packed up and left.
Yeah, but
like, that was fun.
But you know what? They couldn't even be mad, because it's like, wow, he did that.
Thank you for the land.
Did it. Oh man. All right. Let's hit a break. When we come back, I'm going to give away some San Antonio Brahmas tickets first of all, and we're going to see what's going on in the world outside of sports, including a new movie that has some things that I think Vic is going to be very, very interested in, if you know what I'm saying. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, so many times you wake up dealing with painful situations, something painful that you're just going to take the day off. I can't go with the fam because my leg hurts. I can't walk. If there's something so painful that it's keeping you out of your life, you need to evaluate, because there's fix out there, and it's an easy fix. It's Arasti. Arasti providers are all around San Antonio with one abiding goal, and that's to get you out of pain as fast as possible. They accept most insurances, and you don't need a referral. They're available today. So if you're dealing with a soft tissue injury, a sprain or a strain, maybe you've got a frozen shoulder, maybe it's a lower back injury, maybe it's plantar fasciitis in your feet, maybe you're dealing with tension headaches so bad it punched you in the nose. Arasti can fix you, and they can fix you fast. On average, under 4 visits get Arasti patients back in the game. 99% of Arasti patients would happily recommend it to their friends and family. That's the highest you can achieve. Let me tell you, if you're dealing with pain, there's no better fix. They're all around San Antonio. If you want to find one, go to Arasti.com. They got a map of all the providers on their website, and they're adding new ones all the time. I bet there's one less than 10 minutes from where you are now. Listen, don't let pain, of all things, keep you from doing things that you love. Life's too short, right? Call Arasti today. They're going to see you fast. They're going to take care of you fast, and you're going to be happy with the results back in the game. And when you are, come on by and thank me later.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We just cleared a couple of our trouble spots. I-10 westbound at Loop 410. That wreck is just cleared. Also cleared one of our trouble spots downtown, 37 southbound Carolina Street. The accident is gone. Well, it looks like they just now cleared that stall, 37 northbound Carolina Street, off the ramp. 1604 eastbound Banter Road to Lock Hill Selma, about a 10-12 minute ride. And 35 southbound FM 3009 on down to 1604. Should take you about 10 minutes or so. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Let's Rodeo San Antonio Brahmas style. The herd you love returns to the Alamo Dome for their Let's Rodeo theme game. Join us Friday, May 9th at 7 p.m. when your San Antonio Brahmas battle the DC Defenders. Dust off your boots and grab your cowboy hat to celebrate with rodeo-inspired fun for the whole family. Enjoy a pregame happy hour in the H-E-B Plaza with $3 frozen margaritas and beer. Get your tickets today at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com for tickets. Our town, our team, our herd.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today. There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ, J-O-E-Q, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Swapping out your tires? There's nothing like it. With eBay, you find the feel you're looking for. From smooth highway rides to grip for rough terrain. Get all the tires you need at prices you'll love. eBay. Things people love.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
The house is a rockin', don't bother knocking. Morning Huddle 94.1, baby. Rob and AJ getting you through on a hump day. Give me one, Rob.
Hump day? Well, that's. I feel bad doing that, but hump day, that's Joe's.
That's all right.
That to him.
That's
that
all
in
right.
the 90s.
I think he's quit on it. I think he's given it up.
Is he over it now?
I think he has. I think it's I think it's ours now. I think we can safely say it's
Took it over.
Yeah, it's the takeover, friends. The takeover.
It actually belonged to the 90s.
I think it was
that
2000s. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I was thinking the frogs. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we've.
The camel.
That's what it was, right? That was
the funniest thing, man.
Yeah, the camels were that's where it came from. But, all right, Vic, I'm gonna tell you about this movie.
Okay.
I know you like things to do with heroes and mutants and things of that nature.
Sci-fi. Yeah.
Sci-fi.
Don't bring up his home life.
No.
That's right. Have you ever heard of the Toxic Avenger?
I have, actually. That's like an 80s.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I've seen the Toxic Avenger.
Uh-huh.
Well, the Toxic Avenger is back.
All right.
It is heading into theaters and is unrated, which means it is not safe for those under 18. For just as part of the details on the show, things you can expect, there are ultra violent and toxic content.
Okay.
There is I don't want to say the term.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Urine play. They use a different word with P and a P, like a alliteration, but I don't like to say it like that. I don't know. That doesn't sound appropriate for the radio. And mutant nudity.
Well, I've seen Nosferatu, so I'm ready for this. I'm prepared.
Mutant nudity.
The first teaser showed phallic meals being served at a fast food restaurant where the Toxic Avenger himself, who is known as Toxie, takes on big men with guns. The second trailer shows toxic headache medication being given to the star,
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage,
I'm
who
watching it right
later becomes Toxie.
A little tiny.
Peter Dinklage, you may know from Game of Thrones fame as the what was his name in that show? The dwarf.
Yeah, he was a Lannister.
Tyrion.
Yeah, Tyrion. Yeah,
Tyrion. That's right. Now remember that the Toxic Avenger came out in the 80s. It follows
I
around.
barely remember that.
Yep.
It was a B movie at best.
The story is about a janitor who comes into contact with nuclear waste, and it turns him into a hero or a anti-hero or whatever it is.
Yeah, something different.
But it has Winston Goose is who Peter Dinklage will be playing. And now he's got to go from being an outcast to a savior, taking on ruthless corporate overlords and corrupt forces who threaten his son, his friends, and his community in a world where greed runs rampant.
In a world.
Justice is best served.
Oh, Kevin Bacon.
Radioactive.
Kevin Bacon's in it as well. Yeah.
Kevin Bacon, Elijah Wood.
Yeah,
some big stars. It'll be in theaters August 29th.
I can't wait that long.
You're going to have to wait that long. Those are the rules. Otherwise, you would be participating in piracy.
Yeah.
Which
is illegal, sir.
Yes, that would be a crime, friend. So don't do that under any circumstances. But yeah, I thought maybe you guys would remember the Toxic Avenger.
I barely remember it, man.
But you would like any movie that has mutant nudity in it, right?
Who doesn't?
Pretty much.
I mean. What if Star Wars had nudity? Would you think it would have a broader audience or a smaller audience because kids wouldn't watch?
Well, no, those nerds would all over it.
They'd be all over. I mean, this is in the 70s, so.
No, there wasn't much. Although Princess Leia, everybody had impure thoughts about those buns on the side of her head.
Oh, well, what about
Amidala?
Queen Amidala,
She's a lovely young
once
lady.
Return of the Jedi came out when Princess Leia wore that.
Yeah,
when she was chained to Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, we all got a little something.
I had a poster of that. Yeah.
So I mean, Star Wars did its job.
Do you think Jabba had her?
Oh yeah.
Sexually?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think so too, and nobody wants to talk about it, but
no.
I do think that is it's an.
I hope he did
an unspoken.
Yeah.
Thing that happened.
Something that her and Han don't talk about in mixed company, but
nope.
She has been uncleaned by the.
That's right.
That's all.
Yeah, that's.
No.
Alien rape is not.
No.
It's criminal.
Yeah, we really
quite
don't like
frankly
thinking about it. That's the dark side of Star Wars.
Once you go Hutt.
Yeah, you don't go back.
Don't go back.
All that works is the butt.
Oh.
Once you go hide it, all in the butt.
That explains that gold metal thong.
That's it. Yeah. Han was like,
Help
"Hey,
me, Obi-Wan.
Is something different? Like, what happened when you were in captivity with Jabba the Hutt? Our sex doesn't feel the way it used to.
What happened?
I don't know, honey.
You eat a frog.
I don't know what happened. I don't like to think about those times. When you were frozen in that's the other thing. You were frozen in carbonite. How could I know you were coming back?
We were on a break.
Yeah, I did it, but I thought you were frozen in carbonite for eternity.
I didn't know you were coming back.
Yes, how could I have known?
Jabba had money, job security. He was going to take care of me.
Yeah. He promised. He said we were going to get our own place. He was going to leave Mrs. Hutt.
And then he got thrown out of the. Didn't he get thrown into that giant sand creature? Wasn't he eaten slowly over 1,000 years from Sarlacc, the sand?
Yeah, Sarlacc's pit.
Yeah, that's it.
I hate Sarlacc's pit. I would hate to fall into that.
I think there's some symbolism there.
I think you're right. Guys, I've got terrible news.
What happened?
Jim Baker is in trouble.
The TV preacher?
Yes.
What? What did he do now?
I thought he had redeemed himself.
No. Jim Baker, listen, friends, times are hard for us.
What was his wife?
Tammy Lynn Baker? Tammy Faye. Tammy Faye. That's right.
Tammy Faye, she can cozy up a cave.
Tammy Faye, listen.
Have you ever had her lemon squares and Satan talk? Oh.
Well, here's the deal, y'all.
Jim Baker.
I got bad news.
I thought he was dead.
We're in desperate need of your funding. And without it, I'm going to be in the streets. I'm going to be homeless.
Please be homeless.
Now, if everyone who watches this program will give just $1,000, we'll be able to pay our bills and stay on the air. Otherwise, we got about another month maybe.
Well,
and if they foreclose on this ministry, they'll take my house too. So I'll be on the street, Rob. I'll be on the street.
Back in the 90s, I bought a timeshare at Tammy Faye and Jim's Bible Land.
Well, are you still paying on it?
Well, it doesn't exist. But you're coming back to the well, Jim.
Well, listen.
I thought we were built Bible Land or whatever that thing they were going to build.
So I want you to know.
Is he really about to be homeless?
That's what he says.
Oh, please be homeless. We want him on the streets. We need him prospering and proselytizing to the homeless folk.
Understand, I don't take a salary. No. I am a servant of the Lord.
Me too.
Nope, you don't need money then.
We've got a big debt. They have taken millions of dollars from us. Millions. They said that the financial problems began in 2020 when Baker was in trouble because he was. Do you guys remember? I got the cure for COVID. It's the silver solution. The silver solution. If you buy this silver solution, I can defeat the COVID demon.
He needs $1 million. He'll be out on the street.
And I need $1 million.
You know what?
And I got news. If you give me this money, I guarantee you God's going to do something. He's going to bless you as you give, because when you give, you're going to receive.
I think that Jim Baker and the pillow guy need to meet.
Oh, yeah.
Lindell?
Yeah.
I think Lindell and Jim Baker, you want to talk about the toxic Avenger. You put those two power structures together.
Well, has the pillow guy ever had a sex scandal?
I'm pretty sure he probably has. He just paid him off.
Okay.
Yep. Now he can't. He's broke.
Jim Baker had a sex scandal, and
it went both ways.
And he did fraud, and he went to prison for 4 years.
Oh, that's right. He did some federal time.
Yeah.
He's the reason you get to watch the Fabulous Gemstones.
But he's the one who
Baby Billy.
He is the original one. Like, you got to buy my food buckets. This Jim Baker food bucket will save your family when the end times come. This is not a joke, friends.
He lost all his good hair.
It's so close.
He had
so
good hair.
close.
He had good TV hair way back when.
He's 85 years old.
Wow.
He had multiple strokes in 2020. I don't want to say it's due to maybe ingesting too much silver solution, but it's entirely possible that was the case.
He's not fool enough to take his own cure.
My silver solution, it may have caused multiple strokes, but I did not catch the coronavirus at all during my strokes. I avoided it.
He has claimed to have been cut off by credit card companies, and he's having to pay $156,000 restitution for his silver solution to the Missouri Attorney General after settling out of court.
Wow.
Do you know what it's like to have to drive everywhere you go? When they take your helicopter, how can I preach the gospel from a car?
He still has a show?
Yes. Dude, there are a lot of stupid people out there who will give guys like Jim Baker money. Like, I don't know how you look at, like, how you go through and, like, just read Jim Baker's Wikipedia page and go.
Oh, I know.
And
he
you go,
killed the kid back in the 50s.
It's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to give that guy some money. He seems like he's
trustworthy,
right? God is
that guy's going to get me to God. That's the way. He's the way in the light, that Jim Baker. Give me a break. I only need $1 million.
Look at the Jim Baker home. He's still got some stuff cooking, man.
But Rob, they're trying to foreclose on my ministry.
Look at his big old house, man.
That's not my house. That's the Lord's house.
It's like a small town.
It's the Lord's house. Look at Ricky's hairline. Look how strong it is. That's my genes.
Mondo de la Vega is another TV preacher.
The Lord blessed me with powerful
the
loins.
sad thing is, kids today didn't get the real TV preacher era. We lived through
they're
Brother
golden,
Bob
man.
Tilton and Jimmy Swaggart and
Jimmy
Jim Baker.
Swaggart.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
we
about
had
him.
some Brother Bob that would start talking in tongues and always looked like there were a couple of antennae that would just come out of his head at any moment. Then there's Jim Baker, who I have sinned.
I've made a mistake.
I have sinned with many women. You have sinned, have you?
I bent her over a food bucket. And I have repented.
Those
and that food bucket, game-used food bucket, is now on sale at 20% off at JimBakerMinistries.com, .Jesus.
Yeah, .God.
Baker's God is omnipresent, omnipowerful, and broke. That's Jim Baker's God.
Jim Baker.
Broke.
If all of you listening just give me $1,000, not a dollar, not like,
oh, everyone just give $1, and then they would add up. Right?
Imagine I told our audience, hey guys, if everyone listening to the show today sends $1, then we can save the life of Kitty Big Balls.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't do that, but it would, like, I think the listeners would go, that's not unreasonable. I'll send $1. Imagine you say, if you all will send just $1,000, I'll still be able to live in my mansion. I'll still be able to do my television show. It's just $1,000 each. No big deal. No big deal.
I'm on his YouTube channel. And the comments are ridiculous because
they're all buying into it.
No, some of them are bought into it, and the very next one is grifters and criminals, and then right after that, keep preaching the good word, Pastor.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
you showed me the error of my ways, Pastor.
The idiocy.
Well, he does lead by example. Hey, you want to know what not to do? I don't know, sex scandals and fraud.
Just go watch Fabulous Gemstones, and that's
the righteous Gemstones.
Whatever they do has already been done. It was done in real life.
I've always been fascinated by that culture,
like the TV preacher culture. That's the family business.
Like the fact, not only the fact that it exists, but the fact that there are people who are not just into it, they live it. They think it's that is the real thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always fascinated that exists in our world. And for someone to do a parody of it it was such a brilliant thing. All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, you know what? Before we take a break, Brahma's Defenders. San Antonio Brahmas taking on them Yankees from up in Washington, D.C. Coming down here trying to take our wins. I say nay. If you want to go see the Brahmas and the Defenders, May 9th in the Alamo Dome, we got a family 4-pack for you. Let's go with, you know what, the first person to call in and give Vic Kitty Big Ball's new official name that we had to give to the government, you will win a pair of tickets, or a family 4-pack of tickets, in fact, to the Brahmas Defenders. So first person to call in with Kitty Big Ball's new government name, you win a 4-pack. All right, we'll be back. We'll do the Daily Lines on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
You got to see what you have in Mingo, don't you?
Well,
I mean, you've got to go all in with this guy and give him every. You wasted a 4th-round draft pick on it.
Well, we don't know if it's wasted yet.
I say
spent. You spent.
We just don't know.
We can't say it's wasted until December.
Because we just don't know, do we, Jason?
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Looking for a place with character, cold drinks, and real Texas charm? Pull up a chair at the Lion and Rose in the Dominion. This local favorite, run by the Tharp family, serves up Southern hospitality, military pride, and seriously good food. Happy hour daily from 3 till 7 p.m. with $2.50 drafts, select wine, wells, and mimosas. Plus, tasty bites from just $5. Big screens, bold flavors, and a patio made for post-game hangs. Now open at 23330 West I-10. The Lion and Rose.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you know to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone! Come back! It's got my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life! Come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn any moment into something sweeter. There are endless options to choose from to show her she's the best. Hurry! Save 20 to 40% on select apparel, jewelry, chocolates, and more this Mother's Day only at Target. Restrictions apply.
This is Jason Minix. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
My producer is a centerfold. Yes. All right, Morning Huddle. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're asking you all to send just $1,000 to Jim Baker.
So he doesn't get homeless.
Or Kitty Big Balls.
Oh, man. I mean, now that I think about it, if I send Jim Baker $1,000, he says God will do something. Maybe he'll fix Kitty Big Balls.
Perhaps.
Can I borrow $1,000, Vic?
Maybe God has already worked and is fixing Big Balls as we speak. And he was
That's
working
true.
through.
Who was our winner? Who knew Big Ball's new government name?
Here. It was Scott Gillum.
And his
Scott,
new
congratulations.
government name is
Baby Billy, Uncle Baby Billy.
Yeah, he knew it right away.
I'm gonna call him Uncle Baby Billy. I'm gonna call him the full name, Uncle Baby Billy.
Uncle Baby Billy.
Yeah. So
rolls off the tongue.
yeah, Uncle Baby Billy is in the care of the city of San Antonio at the moment. Hopefully, recovering from his wounds which are plentiful.
Yeah, he's got plenty to deal with.
Yeah, he came up dragging that back leg like
you're just dragging something.
Yeah,
that was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
Not even limping on it.
No,
dragging it.
Yeah, it's just it doesn't exist.
Just gave up.
Now I have. You know what? I have always wanted a 3-legged cat.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know. I think
You want a cat with like those
Name him
the
Lucky?
little wheel thing.
they
that
make
put
no,
on them?
because cats can get around with just 3 legs.
Oh yeah.
They make me laugh.
Yeah, but it'll
And-
be running funny.
I know I don't want it to be Kitty Big Balls, but I have always wanted a cat with 3
I've
legs.
always wanted a dachshund with no back legs.
I
Put him in a little wheelbarrow and let him walk around. I can laugh at him.
I like cats that have one eye or dogs that have one eye. Like sometimes I know it's like
You need
it's
to
sad
move
that it
to the-
happened, but I kind of like it. It's
The island of misfit toys.
It gives them some. It gives them a little character. That's
No.
all.
No.
Yeah.
Those are the kind. If it happens while you have them,
Tripod. That's what I. Yeah, that's what I would call them.
But those animals never get adopted, man. That
I would adopt one.
3-legged cat. Like no, I wanted this to be as easy as possible, and I don't want a dog I got to strap to a wheelbarrow so he can run around.
They can get around fine with 3 legs.
Man, the last thing, seriously, I spent enough time walking dogs. Last thing I need to do is to actually physically have to walk with the dog.
Well,
like walk
that's.
the dog.
I mean, a cat's much easier. You're not going to walk your cat, but
3-legged cat be falling all over the place.
Well, listen, man, that's.
Yeah, this is how Kitty Big Balls are probably.
Strap his ass to that little wheelbarrow like that.
Those look like training wheels with duct
They
tape.
do, yeah. I think that's a homemade cart.
Yeah,
That's that guy took his kids' toys and like.
Kidding. Hey, bring the cat over here. I can fix this.
Little Johnny, didn't I buy you one of those Rector sets? Go get that Rector set.
And some duct tape.
Bring me your Legos and some duct tape.
We'll fix this.
Look how much it says that is.
Little kitty be running around in no time.
What's it say? What's the price on that?
$2.99 for that on Amazon. What you're looking at?
That's from Temu. I don't think you should buy that.
$2.99?
No, $2.99.
$299.
Yeah.
Give me a
I know. I'm
Give me a tricycle.
Kitty, you ain't walking.
I'm
Some
gonna
duct
spend.
tape.
I'm gonna spend my money wisely and give it to Jim Baker and let the Lord fix his leg.
Yeah, the Lord will heal it.
He will fix. The Lord will fix
Can
big.
you imagine
he'll
having to do
fix
this?
that leg like it was the. It'll be stronger than his other legs.
I mean, I love my pets. But every morning you got to wake up and strap your cat into a little wheelbarrow erector set so it can go right. Nope.
Yeah.
No, and you got to put him in the litter box. I don't think you can
No,
fall
I'm not
in there
doing
with
that, man.
No, instead you just have a litter room where you spread litter all over the floor and he just goes wherever
I
he
just
wants.
come in and just roll the cat over.
That's right.
Roll it down the hall.
All right. Let's wrap it up the way we.
Like a sausage. Like, I'm going to take the cat out. I'm going to roll it down the hall.
Let's wrap it up the way we always do by taking a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All righty, folks. The New York Knickerbockers are in Boston to take on the Celtics. Boston, a 10.5-point favorite. 6.5 if you only want to play the first half. That's the way I'm going to attack
I think
it.
that's the only way to go on these because you have to expect a bounce back. But the way they lost, I'm just not sure they're capable of that kind of spread. So the first half might be the way to go.
The Nuggies, 11-point dogs in Oklahoma City.
Man.
I think the same approach, though. I'm looking first half only.
You going to tell Joker that they picked the other team 11 points? Dude.
11.
He's coming for you.
11.
Let's just say that I think we can both admit that we're fans. I'm a fan of Chet Holmgren. I think there's there, but he's going to have to fix some stuff tonight.
Particularly on the defensive end.
Yes.
He was very good on one end and very bad on the other in game one.
You cannot be a liability 50% of the time.
Yeah, and he is too good of a defensive player to let that happen to him. But Joker's pretty good at what he does, too. So, now that's a cool-looking animal. That's like a suit, like a bat suit.
Yeah, he's got like a snarl going on.
Man, I want that. That's got to be more than $300, though.
I think so.
Let me ask you this, Rob. The Warriors are at the Timberwolves tomorrow for Game 2. The presumption is no Steph Curry.
No chance.
What do you think the line is?
It better be Minnesota real close. I say Minnesota in 4.
Minnesota minus 10.
10?
Yeah.
But, Jimmy Butler didn't play very well.
Nope.
He played hard. Draymond played okay. Buddy Hield played okay. Do we expect that they can do this again minus? Man, that's a big
Let me ask you
ask.
this. Think about the score of that game. Is it possible that, and I mean, this is clearly possible, but the Warriors are a much better defensive team without Steph Curry?
I think that's, well.
I mean, do they just win in a different way when he's not on the floor?
I do. I think you can, that's such a strange thing because he's not a bad defensive player. I think their rating's just better defensively. Maybe it's the dude that's in. I did not know that, and I don't know how you work a way around that. I'd rather have him in and have worse defense.
Yeah. Cavs Pacers, which is a Friday game. Cavs minus 1.5.
Wow.
On the road.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean,
you
can't adjust your numbers that much based on 2 games.
Yeah, you have to go there. Actually, I like Cleveland more. If you like Cleveland, it'd be more than 1.5.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I think so too. In the National Hockey League tonight, I hate hockey so much right now. That was the worst part too. The game was supposed to start at 8:30 yesterday. The Hurricanes Capitals game went to overtime.
Oh, so they hold the drop.
They pushed the start back to 8:50 instead of 8. So I had to wait 20 extra minutes.
That's a whole period.
And then still lose. Oh, gross. Maple Leafs host the Panthers tonight in Game 2. The Panthers a minus 140 road favorite. And we'll have to see if the Maple Leafs have their goalie back. I assume they, unless he's in concussion protocol.
He's too tough for that.
But I do expect the Panthers to beat them regardless of who's playing goalie, just because they're the better team. But they are in Toronto. Dallas is at the Jets. Dallas a minus 115 favorite on the road as well. In Major League Baseball today, Logan Allen goes for the Guardians. Michael Soroka goes for the Nationals. Guardians minus 115. Fromber going for the Astros. The Astros kind of stink right now. I don't know what nicer way to put it. The fact that the A's and the Mariners are battling for first place in the AL West is pretty embarrassing to a lot of other teams. But the Astros minus 135 favorites tonight. Mariners send Brian Wu against the A's. Gunnar Hoagland goes for the A's. Mariners minus 135. And the Rangers tonight. Where are the Rangers? I don't know. I lost them anyway. Oh, Rangers are at the Red Sox. Red Sox minus 130 with Tanner Houck. Blitz coming up at 2. Jason and Joe. See you guys tomorrow.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
Big cash giveaway, yeah. $250,000, yes. The next 10 months, GimmeTheVin.com is giving back. Everyone that sells us their car gets put in the drawing, and monthly we're pulling out $25,000 and giving it to you. So not only are we the top of the market buyer, but you got a chance to win $25,000. That's what we mean by big cash giveaway. GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. There's still time. Come to Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale and get a queen mattress and adjustable base for just $399.99. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
This PGA Tour moment is brought to you by True Green.
In the 2000 PGA Championship, Tiger Woods was going for his third major in a year. Tiger found himself in a shot-for-shot, birdie-for-birdie fight with Bob May. Tied after 72, they headed to a 3-hole playoff where Tiger hit a 20-foot putt for birdie on 16. He quickly walked toward it, pointing at the hole as it dropped in. Tiger went on to win by 1.
True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to really stand out. That